Welcome, welcome, welcome. 4th and 9 to victory. As always, I'm your boy Fight on Christian. Up at the
And
top, we got my boy.
B Jenkins, welcome back.
And in the middle, he got the glasses on for you guys tonight for our award show. We're gonna let him introduce himself. Man, he's basically a co-host. He's on with us all the time, man. Brings so
Yeah,
much to the show. So we appreciate you joining us, man. Go ahead and shout out yourself.
Leon Johnson, catch me on Twitter at LJ Racings 38. And again, I want to thank Brian and Chris for having me on 4th and 9. So always a pleasure, man.
yeah,
Most definitely,
most definitely.
man. And tonight's show, tonight's live, you guys make sure you follow with us as well. Put your comments in. We definitely try to bring them up as we're talking. If we don't, please forgive us. Sometimes there's so many comments coming in, it's hard to keep up, but we do acknowledge and appreciate it. Fight on to you, Mike Williams. But tonight's show, what we're going to be doing is, all off season we've been talking portal needs, team needs, things from 2025. This year we just this week we're going to put a positive spin on it, right? So we're going to do our first annual. This is our first year that we started the show. Appreciate everybody rocking out with us. We're going to do our first annual award show for 2025 season. So we have a few different categories that we're going to be going through tonight. We're going to be giving our awards out to them. We want you guys, as we doing, to put your player in the comment section as well. Like we said, we'll do our best to keep up with everybody's comment as we're going through each section so that your award can be shown as well. But we are going to kick that off. But before we do and get into that, try to give a few more people time to hop in before we get started. We did just want to just briefly talk about our latest portal get, right? I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it around USC Nation. We did just get a tight end from Wisconsin in the portal. Shout out to you, OG D Lifer. From Wisconsin. Leon, what's it? Last name Ashcroft. What's first name?
Tucker.
Tucker Ashcroft, right? Tight end from Wisconsin.
Right.
And Leon, you're our guest. We can start with you. What do you see in this kid, and what do you think about the portal move?
I think he's a good pickup. You know what I mean? Another veteran in that young tight end room. From what I've read from guys who've been reporting on this guy, he's a good locker room guy. He's a tough kid. I think they said that he got his tooth knocked out. There's a picture circulating around of his picture at Wisconsin with the shirt and tie, how they do the team photos.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was at a practice, and he got his tooth knocked out. And he said he didn't even worry about it. He was right back in there playing. So we know he's a tough guy. He likes to block. And I think I saw some comments about people saying that, oh, look at his statistics. What are we really getting? And one of the Wisconsin beat writers was like, they didn't have the best passing game, so you really can't look at his statistics and determine what his value is. So I think he's a great pickup and a much welcome addition to the tight end room.
Yes, sir. B, what about you, my man?
Yeah, I'm going to echo the same thing. When you look at the amount of experience we lost from the tight end room, Lake McCree going out to the NFL, he's out of eligibility. Joey Olsen hit the portal. I think he signed with New Mexico, and Walker Lyons going to Utah. We pretty much left us with no depth from a experience.
No, BYU. You went to BYU.
BYU. I apologize. BYU. Pretty much left us with no depth from an experience-wise at the tight end. I know we're bringing in one of the top tight ends in the nation from modern day. We also signed the top tight end out of JUCO. But as far as from an experience standpoint, we don't have that. So don't know much about what the tight end from the JUCO rankings could do. I know Nicky Riley likes to run a lot of 12 personnel, sometimes 13 personnel. So we definitely need a tight end to come in, get some of that blocking done. I don't know what his hands look like. Shout out to Red Fox. Appreciate you joining. Austin, always glad to have you. I don't know what he's going to look at like from a catching perspective, like you said before. He didn't have much film. He didn't have much film catching the ball. He played at Wisconsin. Wisconsin does a lot of running. So he's definitely going to need his leadership in the room, considering the amount of experience that we lost and won all season.
Most deaf. Um, I like to pick up two as well. For one, the kid is a good blocker, right?
Right.
Um, we had some issues last year with some tight ends that's gone. While they were good wide receiving tight ends, their blocking wasn't the best, right? We've seen a lot of
Right.
times with this kid. I see Riley using him. We do like to run a lot of 12 personnel, but I can see Riley using him like he used those great H backs that he had in Oklahoma, where we can even see this guy lining up in the backfield and being the lead blocker on our inside zones, and even pulling him when we like to run those trade counters and things of that nature. So definitely think with his experience, very good blocker, right? First off, when I'm looking at a tight end before reception, is how can you block, right? And
Right.
hold up. So I definitely I like to pick up. I think it's special with his blocking ability. And I believe Riley's going to use him not just tight end, but expect to see him in the backfield a lot as an H back, offset, being the lead blocker on some inside zones and even pulling them on them trade counters that we love to run.
Hey,
So
Chris,
what's going on, brother?
one more thing. This guy
Go.
ain't little. He's 6'5",
Right.
260.
Right.
He's a big guy. So, big dude.
Did y'all see Eckler got hired from Nebraska to coach special teams? I didn't see it. Did we end up pulling them? I know there were talks about it, but I
I
haven't
know they were
seen.
talking about it, but I
Yeah,
didn't know that
I
they
haven't seen
hired
that.
him.
If someone want to maybe research that, I can't do it right now since I'm running the. But yeah, Mike Williams. I'm not sure. I know it was talks about it, but I haven't seen anything come through that he actually got hired.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, if that's indeed true, let us know um, whether or not they went ahead and hired him. He was at USC before. I want to say back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
He was at USC before, coached the linebackers. So there's been speculation about him potentially coaching the linebackers here. I don't know whether or not they're going to retain Ryan. I think Lynn, he was one of Lynn guys that Lynn brought in, want to coach the linebackers. So I'm not sure whether or not he's going to be tasked with that responsibility also.
Everything I see says USC is likely to hire, and it's being reported by CBS Sports. So I think that means that the contract is basically done.
Yeah, Mike said he just got
Yeah, because
reported.
everything I just seen. I'm seeing that USC has probably offered and is close to hiring Mike Oakley. So it sounds like it's just going that way. I'm not what is Zenith. I'm not sure what Zenith is, but
He's a
Matt
reporter.
Zentz.
Matt
yeah, what I see from Matt Jensen said USC is likely hiring. I'm looking at
Yeah.
that now. So
Black
National
Diamond
NFL National
6501. Appreciate you joining the live, my man. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button for us. Hit the bell for notification and give us a like on the live. All right, let's
yes.
rock, Chris.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's about that time. So we're going to get into it. Again, if you're just now tapping in tonight, it's going to be positivity. We've been talking ad nauseam about defensive coach, who's going to be portal and things of nature, and we'll get back to that next week in those topics and what we need to do for 2026. But tonight, there were a lot of good things that happened in the 2025 season with this USC team with growth and play, and so we do want to give the shout outs out tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our 2025 awards. There's only so many people we can have on a live, or we'll be on here for 6 hours. But we did go out and reached out to some of our other USC podcasters to get their votes. So we do have the award votes from Guns at Light the Torch. Shout out to Light the Torch, B Jones at Light the Torch, USCJ as well, and as well as Carter Sports. And so we'll be giving you guys their grade, their awards as well as we go through ours. So first up on the list, you ready, fellas?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. And in the chat, please be sure as we going through and we giving our awards that you guys are coming with your awards. So the first award of the night that we'll be giving out is the USC Coach of the Year. Who is your Coach of the Year on the USC staff? Guns from Like the Torch sent his in. He gave it to Chad Savage. B. Jones gave it to Henson. USCJ gave it to the wide receiver Coach Simmons, and Carter Sports gave it to Henson. So Leon, you are up first with your Coach of the Year. Go ahead and tell us who your Coach of the Year is and why you gave him the Coach of the Year.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that it's Coach Hanson. I mean, the job he did this year is incredible, and I'll give you, just a couple of reasons why I think he was the Coach of the Year. First of all, he was forced to use 8 different starting lineups this year during the season. That was due to injuries. That was due to losing DJ Winfield at the beginning of the season. We had our starting right tackle playing left guard for most of the season. We brought in redshirt freshman Justin Tuano to start at right tackle. Killian O'Connor got hurt multiple times this year. Jean-Ray Reed had to step in. Jean-Ray Reed got hurt. Killian O'Connor came back. So I think, he gets a bump for that. Also, let's check this out. USC offense was the leader in passing yards per game, total yards per game. They were number 1 leading offense in the Big Ten, number 2 in points per game during the regular season in the Big Ten. All with mixing up the starting lineups on the offensive line. Now, I know there are other position groups that probably did better. If you want to talk about Mekhi Lemon getting the Blitnikoff Award, but that's one guy. If you want to talk about the group as a whole and what the coach did for that group, it's Coach Hanson.
All right.
Good points. Good.
Kudos to
Good
Zach
points.
Gibson. All good points. All good points. B. Jinx.
Yeah.
Anthony Jones Jr., running back coach.
Most definitely. I think he's my Coach of the Year. Why? You discover a talent like Waymo to come in, even though he got injured. Type of running back we got to look forward to in the future. You talk about the who has at least another two years of eligibility left. His ability to make people miss in open space, but he was the number 1 ranked JUCO running back in to come out and for us to bag him, and not only that, have him ready to go. His catching ability out of the backfield speak volumes towards evaluating talent. But not only that, but to have King Miller in the wings and to start to start off his season as the number 1 running back from the Michigan game. For him to come in and get close to 1,000 yards rushing in less than 8 games also speaks volume. But in order to accomplish those tasks, those guys have to be mentally ready, which means they have to be focused and ready, diving into that playbook. They have to be able to read their keys as far as like picking up the business. Sure, we're gonna have to get stronger when we talk about King Miller, but we got at least another 2 seasons on this kid. So we got 2 great running backs to run behind that offensive line. And shout out to Coach Hanson for having the offensive line ready to open up some holes. But when we talk about what the USC backfield is going to look like, especially with the kids that's coming in, in my opinion, Coach Jones, Anthony Jones takes the back seat to nobody. So, my award for the Coach of the Year will go to Anthony Jones.
Yeah, don't forget about Eli Sanders too. That
Eli Sanders too. Yeah. He identified that talent. But we talk about what we got going forward. Eli Sanders, he pretty much was on that 1-year deal and he got hurt. But we talk about having these 2 backs going forward in Waymo and King Miller. I think is going to be one of the most lethal combinations, not just in the Big Ten conference, but in the country.
Most definitely, and especially with those young backs we got coming in.
Yeah.
All right, for me, going with Zach Hanson as well. Leon summed it up, so I don't have to regurgitate what Leon said. But man, coming into the season, me personally, and a lot of people, one of the biggest question marks was the offensive line. Right, we were all the defense is going to carry this team. We had questions around the offense and the offensive line, and what he did with the offensive line, as Leon stated, where we ranked numbers. But just with the mismatching, and it wasn't like just mismatching during the week, it was mismatching during the game. right? You were having two starters go out at one time, and it wasn't just bringing guys off the bench; it was moving people from guards to tackle and things of that nature. And we didn't miss a beat. So for that, I'm going to give the my USC Coach of the Year to Mr. Zach Hansen. All right, going on to our next category, which is going to be position group of the year. Again, thanks everybody. We got Guns that sent this stuff in. B Jones, USC, Carter Sports. Guns went with the running backs room. B Jones went with the offensive line. USCJ went with the running backs room, and Carter Sports went with wide receivers. All right, Leon, your position of the group of the year, and why I think you summed it up pretty good in the first. But if you want to add anything more,
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line with all the mismatching that they did this year. If you look at the Trojans were ranked top 3 in scoring offense, near the top in total yards. Pass protection was pretty good this year. The group as a whole was nominated for the Joe Moore Award midseason, recognizing the nation's top offensive line groups. Yeah, I mean, they showed with the mismatching of the guys, versatility. They showed coaching ability, having the backups ready to go in a short notice. I mean, offensive line, bro. And also, Tobias Raymond played 3 different positions on the offensive line this year. Offensive line.
all right. B Jinx, my man, position group of the year.
Yeah, most definitely. Wide receiver group. When you talk about having 2 of the top wide receivers in the country, especially the leading wide receiver in the country, Makai Lemon, winning the Bolitnikoff Award, and what we got in the wings coming up behind him, identified talent like Tanook Hines. I think this position group, especially without Makai Lemon, what will we be on the season with his ability to come up with those awesome catches. Jacoby Lane, one-hand catches, gave us a lot of highlights. I wish he had could have remained a little more healthier on the season. It was a couple of games where we sorely missed him. In there, I think he sat out maybe 1 or 2 games or was extremely limited. But when you think about what we were this time 2 years ago, and I'm not calling out anybody, but we forced a lot of balls to the incorrect receiver, right? That's no longer here. And shout out to Branch and Deuce Robinson. But I definitely believe that we kept the 2 better receivers, which is what I said from the beginning when I indicated that, hey, look, we can't afford to keep all 4 receivers. Why? Because we're no longer in the Pac-12, so we're not going to have as many plays. So you don't need 4 receivers that are, on that level of that caliber. We're going to have to let 2 of them go. In my opinion, we kept 2 of the better receivers in the country, especially the top-ranked receiver in the nation, and Makai Lemon. So I look for Makai Lemon to be doing special things in the NFL next season. So does Jacoby, as does Jacoby Lane, and continue that tradition, of the pipeline of wide receivers from USC going into the league.
All right. And my position group of the year is also going to wide receivers. I was tossing and turning, going back and forth between the offensive line and the wide receiver group. But those 3 losses and just the inability for us to be able to run the ball and win up front was just, I just felt like the wide receiver group, even when we couldn't run the ball, we were able to have success through there, and those wide receivers showed up. I mean, Jaden, not just with Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane, Jaden Richardson, Tanook Hines, that group played well, man. So I'm going to give mine out to the wide receiver room as well. All right, moving right along. Offensive MVP. You guys make sure you put in your awards in there, right? Offensive MVP. Who's your offensive MVP for the 2025 season? Guns from Like the Torch, Makai Lemon. B Jones from Like the Torch, Makai Lemon. USCJ from Lost in the Sauce podcast, Makai Lemon. Carter Sports, Makai Lemon. Clean sweep for Makai
Clean
Lemon.
sweep,
Uh,
man. Clean sweep.
clean sweep for Officer MVP. So let's move on to our guy Leon.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go against the grain here and give it to my man Jaden Mayava.
Hmm.
Um, if you look at what he's done this year, he led the Big Ten in total passing yards in the regular season. He led the Big Ten in passing yards per game. He led the Big Ten in passing yards per completion. Total offense, he led the Big Ten. He led the nation in QBR in the regular season. I mean, I understand everybody wants to pick Makai Lemon, but there's a guy that got him the ball all
That's
season
true.
long, and that's
True.
that guy right there. I could give you some more statistics, but we'll say that for later. But that's my offensive
Yeah.
MVP for the year.
Leon, hey, Leon got something big going for us. He said he gonna
Yeah,
sweep the
yeah,
leg.
he does.
All right, B Joe. I mean B Jinx.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, hands down. Now, I do agree with Leon. You got to have a quarterback to throw to get the ball to the receivers, right? But when we talk about the special ability of a Makai Levin, man, I think definitely he's going to be sorely missed. He definitely was sorely missed in the bowl game. We saw that, when Jay Maava was looking for his primary, his safety net. He didn't have him to throw to. Sure, we had Tanook Hines, and Tanook Hines did his thing. He's going to be the future. I could tell that from that bowl game. But when you got a special kid like this, like a Makai Lemon, man, he's one of a kind. So kind of pushed me in the mind of Amara St. Brown, tough, short, built, um, athletically, a stout, but got those short hands. And when you need that catch, man, when you need that catch in the clutch, if he's able to get to that ball, if you put it anywhere in his vicinity, he's going to get to that ball. I wish he was a little taller than his frame, but he definitely got the job done on the season. So for me, and I know I gave a lot of people during the season a hard time about Jacoby Lane, and it was all in fun. I still think he's one of the better receivers in the country itself, when he's healthy. But my offensive MVP, man, Makai Lemon.
Shout out, shout out. All right. Same for me. Gonna go with Makai Lemon. Uh, no disrespect or anything. Mava had a great year, right?
Right.
Definitely called out. Um, but when you think of the most viable player to the team, I mean, if you look at it, when teams came into the game, they were game planning for Makai Lemon, right? Yeah, they were doubling safety over the top. They were saying this Makai Lemon was the guy on their chalkboard that it was saying they got to stop. B, we have a segment. Mama, there goes that man again.
Yeah.
That's the guy they were saying they. That's the guy that they were game planning
Right.
for, saying how are we going to stop him? What are we going to do? We're going to put a cloud cover over him. We're going to double him. They were game planning. And yes, it admit you do got to have a great quarterback to get you the ball, but right. But even when the quarterback can't get you the ball, Makai Lemon can score other ways. We've seen him score on run plays. We've seen him throw touchdowns, right? So just the totality of what he did this year and everything he's shown from throwing touchdowns to running them in to catching them, teams having to account for him. I'm going to give Lemon my MVP award. All right. We are on to our defensive MVP. Let me go ahead and put this in the comments. You guys make sure you send us who your defensive MVP is. Keep them coming.
Carter, Carter, man.
Guns from Like the Torch podcast went with Bishop. Fitzgerald. B. Jones also went with Bishop. USCJ went with Bishop. Our man Carter Sports says nobody.
Let me give a disclaimer for everybody who's watching. Something is wrong with Carter, so you just have to ignore that. Nobody. Really?
Carter said
Nobody
nobody.
plays defense, Carter? Is that what you're saying? Nobody plays defense?
Carter said nobody. He said he's not. He said he's skipping out on the award. He's not giving anybody the MVP award. All right, Leon.
Well, the fans talk. Bishop Fitzgerald, man. Let me run him down for you. 5 interceptions on the season, led the Big Ten, ranked number 2 nationally. It's the most interceptions by a Trojan since 2022. Returned one of those interceptions for a touchdown. Consensus All-American. He had multiple games with multiple interceptions. He sealed the deal against Michigan with 2 red zone interceptions. 3 of his 5 interceptions occurred in the red zone, which means that he's stopping people from scoring. So
especially against Purdue, he saved us in that Purdue game.
Yeah. So Bishop Fitzgerald, and I agree with Carter. There wasn't a lot to like on the defensive side of the ball, but he was a bright standout.
He was definitely a bright spot, man. He's All-American. He could have.
Yeah. I don't understand how you gonna say nobody when this kid had 5 picks. Explain that.
And he has and remember that he came all the way from 15, 20 yards deep for that big sack against Michigan.
Right.
All right. On to you, B.
Defensive MVP, Cam Crawford, man. This kid continues to go, and I was torn between him and actually DeCarlos Nicholson. But when we talk about being up front, talking about making a leap from his freshman season this season, I think he ended up leading the team with 5.5 sacks on the season. He's definitely going to be a force off the edge on next season. Some people tend to think that we got a bunch of freshmen coming in, and rightfully so, they are coming in to take some positions, but I just don't see this kid taking a back seat to anybody. I look for him to, after next season, potentially being, a first-round pick. Formerly Cam Fountain, now Cam Crawford. He's just a force to be reckoned with. He one of those first kids off the bus, right? You talk about his size. Player is real physical. You just gotta. I think this season, I'm looking for him to put it all together, and possibly get add another 5 sacks on top of that 5.5, and really, be one of the leaders in the country, in the conference as well as the country. So for me, I'm going to say Cam Crawford. And shout out to the Wealth TV, man. Appreciate you joining the live.
He said that's J.A. J.A., we're not doing call-ins right now. We're doing our award. If we got some time after the award show, we'll drop the link for call-in. But right now we're gonna get through the awards. But you can throw your awards in here as we go through it in the comment. And if we had got time after, we'll drop the link. All right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You was done.
You good? Yeah, I'm done. For me, it's Cam Crawford.
All right. For me, same. Leon gave you all the stats. His interceptions and things were so timely. Not just interceptions, but his tackling ability, being able to come from the second level and get sacks and things of that nature. By far, he was a defensive MVP this year for me. All right. Special team player of the year. Go ahead and drop your special teams player of the year in the comment. Our boy Guns at Like the Torch, Ryan Sierra, B. Jones as well, Ryan Sierra, USCJ, Matai Tagwell, Carter Sports, Ryan Sierra. Guys, have we had a clean sweep yet where everybody picked everybody? I don't think so.
Not yet. We almost did, but not yet.
All right. Special teams player of the year, Leon. We can't hear you, Leon. Are you on mute?
You're on mute.
Sorry about that. My guy, Mr. Semi-Automatic, Ron Sierra. From 40 plus yards, this guy was perfect. From 50 yards, he was perfect. He's only missed 3 field goals all year, 4 field goals all year. He's 17 for 21.
Yeah, one got blocked. I don't know why they call blocks and count that against the kicker, but
yeah, he was perfect.
Brother.
He was perfect on points after on PATs. He had an 81% success rate. He's one of the nation's most accurate kickers. He ranked top 5 in the nation in field goal percentage, and out of 83 kickoffs, 58 of them were in the end zone. That's 69.9%. So not only did he do it on field goals, he also did it on kickoffs. making the opponent start on their side of the ball. And if they were going to score, they'd have to go the whole length of the field. Right. And I think he also set a single season record for he set a single season record for USC for something. But
I think it's
points. I think it was scoring, yeah.
Scoring, yeah.
And I think he was number 2 on the team, something like that. Yeah, so I think he had 111 points all year. So Ron Sierra.
Yeah, for me, it's the same thing. The field goal kicker, Ron Sierra. I'm not sure how he's classified. Was he a freshman or a sophomore? I know how he ended up getting. He's a freshman.
Walk-on freshman. He was a walk-on too.
Yeah, right. I know how he ended up getting in position was the starter got hurt, and he stepped right in. Right, so it's kind of like finding that diamond in the rough. So Leon pretty much summed it up. There's nothing else left to be said about this kid. You know, we got at least another kicker. I mean, field goal kickers typically stay 4 years, so I think we got another 3 years of seeing this guy. You know, might come down to a situation where we need him to pull it off in the clutch. You know, give us that last second field goal, maybe like 2 to 3 seconds left to win the ball game. I'm looking for a lot of that to happen next season, right? We got some tough matchups. It may come down to him, you know, putting the team on his back and winning it for us. So as long as we can get him in field goal range and he pull it off, I would love to see a walk-off field goal like that. Last time I believe we had a walk-off field goal like that was against Penn State in the Rose Bowl, right? Big time game like that.
When it gets Texas at home? When it gets Texas at home?
It may have been.
Like the year after that?
But I think that was overtime though. I'm talking about where we came from when we came from down. I think we were down to Penn State by what? 2 scores? We came back and
it was getting ugly. Saquon was going off.
Yeah. And came back and won that game in regulation after that pick. So for me, it's going to be this kid, and I'm glad that you know he's the field goal kicker for SC, and we got him for at least another 3 seasons.
For me, it's the same. We almost had a clean sweep. Shout out to USCJ in the chat. He was the only one different on here. We almost had a clean sweep. But for me, it's gonna be right. He was the most consistent special teams player we had, and he was good at what he do. The difference between 24 and 25, 24 every time we lined up for a field goal, I was having anxiety because I knew it was a good chance it wasn't gonna go in. But every time this kid came up, I was like, you know, bank it. It's gonna be 3. Not only that, but even his kickoffs. Leon broke it down, you know, how many touchbacks and things, you know, that helps out. That helps out your special team, right? Where teams don't even get a chance to return the ball, make them start at the 25-yard line, go the length of the field. Like you said, B, he was a diamond in the rough, right? We was all expecting the transfer from UNLV to come in. He was even considered to be a preseason All-American and everything, and he was injured, and Ryan Sierra stepped on the field game 1 and never relinquished it and said, This is my spot. This is my time. And so great year. Definitely looking forward to it. And if it comes down to what you say be a walk-off field goal, guess what? I have confidence that he's gonna make it. Right. So definitely shout out to him. And from 4th to 9, congratulations. All right. Moving right along. Put this in here. You guys make sure you send out your things in the comments. Breakout player of the year. Our guy Guns over at Light the Torch. King Miller. B. Jones at Light the Torch. Tanook Hines. Our guy USCJ. Floyd Picard. Carter Sports. King Miller. Leon, passing it to you for your breakout player of the year.
The King. And I ain't talking about LeBron. That
guy, hey, don't let Carter hear you say that.
Just so y'all know, and Carter, Bean's in the building. He's right here next to me. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant sitting right here.
I don't think Carter on because he would have said something about for saying nobody for defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's King Miller, guys. 156 yards, 156 carries. Almost 1,000 yards. He had 972, 8 rushing touchdowns. Came in against top 15 ranked Michigan. Before that game, we had not beat a ranked team in the top 15 under Lincoln Riley. King Miller comes in after my man gets hurt, Waymo, and gives you 141 yards rushing. And guess what? 150 yards rushing and a touchdown on 18 carries. Michigan was also ranked the top 25 defense at the time. So walk on freshman, redshirt freshman, King Miller, breakout player of the year.
And you know it's crazy that you bring up the Michigan game. I'm looking at that football. That's he running with the Michigan football. For some reason, our offense had Michigan football. You see the M on there and the jump man symbol.
That might have been a kickoff. That might have been a kickoff return.
Okay. Hey,
you remember he didn't start that game, so he would play on special teams.
Hey, look, I'm like he dogging in with their own football.
Yeah, he played on special teams. So yeah,
kickoff return.
Kickoff return. So I want to echo what Leon said. King Miller, when you think about him coming in rushing for almost 1,000 yards, and that was starting at game number 5. I think he came in around the second or the third quarter, and never looked back from there. We had sustained injuries at our number 1 and number 2 running back, and he came in picked up. You would have never thought it wasn't no drop off. It was no drop off for the kid. Imagine this kid starting from game number 1. How many yards do you think he would possibly have? And especially if the offensive line could have opened up some holes for him against Notre Dame, against Oregon, we're probably looking at a 1,700 yard running back. Hopefully, he can stay healthy on next season. We're talking about going into his redshirt sophomore season. He'll be stronger. He's going to get with the strength and conditioning coach during the off season. See if we can build up some endurance. A couple of those games he got gas because he was breaking off 35, 40, and 50 yard runs, right? So once he puts it all together, once he gets down that pass pro, once he gets down the ability to really read the linebackers, maybe even pick up some blitzes. This kid is going to be one heck of a back. Maybe play himself into the late second round or early second round, maybe even first round. Who knows? But I would love to have seen what this kid would have looked like from game 1 all the way through the entire season as a starter.
All right. So for me, it's gonna be it's gonna be the same, right? Breakout player of the year is gonna be King Miller, man. And we're talking about the Michigan game, but if we're honest, this kid broke out on the scene before the Michigan game. He broke out on the scene game 1. Right? For the first two games, he was having 2 carries for 70-some yards in the touchdown. Mm-hmm. He was killing, man. He was killing, man. He was doing great. And shout out to you, B, right? Because from the first game, he got the ball and he broke out for the touchdown, and you was like, I want to see this kid with the starting offensive line. Right? You were saying that from week 1. So you had seen it from the get-go, and B Jones in the offseason we're saying watch out for King Miller.
Yeah, shout out to B Jones.
Yeah, he was saying he's seen him at practice or whatnot, and every time he's seen him, he was breaking long runs. So, but definitely he broke out this year. He stepped on the scene. He's trust me, he's well known, and teams are going to know they're going to have to deal with and prepare for him. So again, me as well. I'm going to give King Miller my breakout player of the year. All right, moving on to the next award, most improved player of the year. Our boy Guns over there at Like the Torch, he went with Tanuk Hines. B Jones went with Tanuk Hines. Our guy USCJ went with Marcellus Williams. Carter Sports went with Jaden Walker. So good eclectic group there. One wide receiver and 2 defensive players. Leon.
Hey, my most improved player goes to Jaden Mayava. Here's my thought with the most improved player. If we didn't see you play last year, you can't be improved because we haven't seen any production from you. So we have to have seen a little bit of production and then see what you did this year, and then we can measure the improvement. And I'm not going to really bore you guys with the same statistics all over again, but if you look at his passing yards, he tripled his passing yards from 2024 to 2025. His average passing completion increased by over 2 yards a completion. and he more than doubled his touchdowns from 24 to 25. So for me, he's the most improved player on the team.
Pete Jinx.
I believe I saw Gunn say people sleep on my guy Sellers. You see, that's my pick, right? For most improved player of the year. We talk about what he looked like, what Sellers looked like from game one up until the bowl game. Got improved leaps and bounds. He improved so much to where position coach. We talk about Belt or either Reed and Lynn.
Reed.
Reed. I trusted him to do what? Go in there and take the majority of the snaps. And when he went out, he got a sub when he got hurt. But for me, it had to be Sellers to improve like that. So cornerback room, you could say it wasn't much competition, but when you got bodies in a position group like that, you got competition. So for him to take the reins of it, play opposite side of the Carlos Nicholson and never relinquish it. Play tough downhill. Sure, he missed a couple of tackles, but so did a lot of other players. But as far as being in coverage, one-on-one, I trust Sellers to get the job done. So I'm going to look for him to go in and compete next season. We got a couple of transfers coming in. Well, at least one transfer coming in. We got one coming off injured reserve, Chasen Johnson. We got some more freshmen that's coming in. That's going to give them, some competition. We always say what? Iron sharpens iron, right? But I look for this kid to hold on to the spot and and keep improving.
All right. For me, my most improved is going to be Jaden Maiava. The kid took leaps and bounds from last season, right? What coming into the season, not this podcast but there were people out there saying, what about this kid? Oh, he wasn't smart enough to read defense. Right. Oh, he don't have it above the shoulders. He's inaccurate. He's this, he's that. All the things that he needed to work on in the offseason, he worked on it, and it shows on the field, right? That he everything that they say he couldn't, he proved them wrong, right? He made them eat crow. One of the biggest things is too, we didn't see the sporadic that we seen last year, right? We didn't see fumbles lost. We didn't see him, holding the ball too long like a loaf of bread and just dropping the ball. None of that this year. Like, he was definitely the most improved player, not even just within his play, but with his leadership, like the way his teammates talk about him, right? And the camaraderie, and he's normally a quiet guy, but how he came out his shell and made that a habit, to get to talk to the guys, hang out with the guys, get to know him, to be his team. Like he totally flipped. And out of everyone on the field, he made the biggest jump from last year this year to me. And it's easy to tell. Leon gave all the stats, right? All the numbers and what he did. So for me, the most improved player is going to go to none other than our quarterback, Heisman contender for the next year, Jaden Maiava. All right. Next award, Freshman of the Year. Our guy Guns over at Like the Torch went with Thanos, Jakeem Stewart. B. Jones went with Floyd Picard. USCJ went with Jakeem Stewart. Carter Sports went with Tanook Hines. Leon, Freshman of the Year.
That man, Tanook Hines, Mr. 1003. Finally, me and Carter are actually agreeing on something. We ain't arguing. Listen, bro.
Carter just joined in. He arguing about something.
How can you go with freshman on the most improved and I'm behind? Yeah.
I don't remember who had a freshman for most improved.
I don't know, man, what Carter talking about.
All
right, go ahead, Leon. Sorry.
But listen, first of all, Floyd Ricard, Jakeem Stewart all had great years, but the best ability is availability. You got to play every game. You know what I mean? Tanook Hines, every game he's in there. We're talking about a freshman who beat out a bunch of upperclassmen to start at USC at wide receiver. We also know why he did that, because the boy likes to block. If you go back and watch some of those games, he's using that elite speed to run down the field and set up blocks for the running backs and the other wide receivers when they're catching the ball. But let me give you the stats because that's what I'm known for.
Leon, our stats guy. Go ahead, Leon.
So the young man had 34 receptions for 561 yards and 2 touchdowns, right? He averaged 43.2 yards per game. But let me give you something. Does anybody remember how many yards Mekhi had as a true freshman? 88. Does anybody remember how many yards Deuce Robinson had as a freshman? 351. He also had 396 as a sophomore. Zachariah Branch, we love to talk about that guy. As a freshman, he had 320 yards. As a sophomore, he had 503. Your man Tanuk eclipsed all those guys as a freshman. Just saying. Then when we went against Oregon, they were ranked number 4 in the big in defense and number 12 nationally. Your man Tanuk hit him for 141 right upside the head. And he had 613 all-purpose yards. It's Tanuk, man. It's not even close.
All right, B Jinx.
For me, it's Thanos, man. I mean, what more can you say about this kid to come in? You have to remember, this kid really only played 1 year of high school and then he came out early. So he's really competing with a bunch of grown men out there. He's 17 years old. Maybe he just made 18 and he played the entire season with a fracture in his foot and still get off the way he got off. One could only think how this kid would have looked on the season with a fully healthy body, a fully healthy foot. It's no telling, sky's the limit for this kid. And again, we have to remember he's still a year younger than the rest of his, the kids that came in, with his class. We talk about the 2025 class. This kid is still young. So I think, me personally, and this is just my opinion, he's a generational talent, one that you can't deny. And I understand why now. It was after the fact that we had learned that he had a fracture in his foot. The reason why he wasn't practicing during the week. He was always in the walking book. So hopefully, he can get that corrected in the off season. Heal up, get back in there on the weights, get some more training, one-on-one training with Coach Henney. Coach Henney likes to bring in, the pros to work with him. So, once this kid really puts it all together, get some more experience and get some more grown man strength to him, look out, man. This kid gonna be dangerous. I'm really looking forward to Thanos playing fully healthy next season.
Hey, real quick, B Jinx, you didn't see the post on Twitter? He was already working out with Aaron Donald already.
That's what I'm saying, man. Once this kid gets healthy, Thanos gets healthy, man.
He actually got freshman All-American
with a fracture in his foot. That's what I'm saying.
And an interception from a defensive lineman.
Right. So this kid gonna be a problem. I mean, he's gonna be a problem next season. I look forward to seeing him pair along that defensive line with a kid like what's the kid coming in? Forgive me for messing up his name.
Alex Van Hoffman or whatever.
No. The end that's coming in, the defensive end that's coming in. Luke Walker. Jeez, man. Listen, in 2 seasons, I can only imagine what that combo gonna look like. If they can keep this unit together with a combination with Luke Waffle and Thanos, I can only imagine what these kids gonna look like coming off the edge, man. It's gonna be scary for quarterbacks. Young Tiny, appreciate you, my man. Shout out to Young Tiny, man.
Young Tiny been missing in action. I don't think we've seen him for a couple of weeks now.
Right.
All right. So for me, my freshman year is King Miller. We've talked about him in a few segments. He's gotten a few awards today, but I mean, just the impact, man. Like I said, we've seen it from game 1, right? We seen it from game 1 and 2 when he came in. Like, it's something special about this kid. Again, B Jinx from game 1 was like, we need to play this kid with the starting offensive line. I want to see him. I was like, no, we don't. I was like, we got Eli way more, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, you was like, we got way more, and we got Eli Sanders. We say, I'm like, no, I want to see this kid with the starting offensive line.
Yeah, and man, it just and what he did, and it's not even just about all the production he did, man. It's just when we lost those 2 backs, you got to think about it. From Michigan on, he was the bell cow.
Yeah.
Every down, every play, every game, right? And taking punishment, running hard. Like there was no there was no backup. You know what I mean? There were backup, but he was running the ball. He was getting 20-some carries, right? And it was a lot on his shoulders, and he showed up and he continued to run, he continued to play. So So my freshman of the year, I'm gonna give to King Miller. All right, gonna move it right along. The play of the year. Play of the year. My guy Guns over at Like the Torch. He chose Lemon's touchdown pass to Tanuk against Oregon. Just play of the year. B. Jones chose Maava's forced fumble against Northwestern. USCJ and Carter Sports both chose Lemon's TD to Lemon's TD against Michigan right before half. The back shoulder play from Iowa to Lemon. So we got two there. All right, Leon, it is on you.
My play of the year is Iowa throwing the interception and then showing Hustle to run down the D tackle and getting the touchback on that fumble. Listen, I was asked by Carter Sports in another podcast, what's the culture of the team? The culture of the team is they don't quit and everybody on the team is tough. And it starts at the head. It starts at the quarterback. Most quarterbacks either allow themselves to get blocked or don't even run after the guy when he's running down the sideline with a touchdown, let alone a 300-pound defensive tackle. Maava said, nah, I got to go get that back. And not only did he tackle him, he made him fumble. He saved the touchdown. That's the culture of the team. Toughness. We don't quit. We're going to play for one another. And that's your starting quarterback going out there, putting his shoulder and the season on the line because the guys behind him were inexperienced to make that play. Jaden Maava.
All right. B. James.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing. I want to echo what Leon said for Jay Maava to do that. And you have to think about this. This is not a team like an Ohio State or Michigan that he did this to against. He did this, I think we were playing Northwestern, right?
Right.
At the house, and he had thrown an interception. We talked about the culture of the team. A lot of people talk about that, as far as which direction the team is headed. But I think it's headed, I believe it's headed in the right direction, right? I just wish that it would be more consistent. But when you got a leader like this, Jay Maava, and I look at this as being accountable. He threw an interception. I think, we were actually down, and we potentially either tied or either down, and they would potentially could go ahead going into the half when he threw the interception and came right back and knocked the ball out of the defensive lineman's hand. This is not a DB that he went and tackled like this. This is the 300-pound defensive lineman. So we talk about, again, we speak about culture. This is the culture I want to see, and Leon is correct. It starts with the quarterback. It starts with the head. I just wish that we would be more consistent and everybody follow the same model. And when you can get everybody on the same page, you will have more plays like this. So even though he messed up and it was his fault, he didn't watch the defensive lineman score, because most quarterbacks, when you think about potentially going into the league the next season, right, and what they got on the line, if they're considered to be a high first round or a second round pick, you don't see them making plays like this, especially on a defensive lineman. But for him to say, hey, you know what? I messed up. I'm not going to watch this guy walk into the end zone like this. Let me go try to do something about it, So, and he did. He made it happen. And that changed, believe it or not, that actually changed the outcome of that game. And we ended up winning it, walking away. Now, I just want us to be a little more consistent.
All right. And great picks by everyone, right? That touchdown before Michigan was big, right? That play from Makai Lemon to Tanuk against Oregon was big, right? Put us back within, 7 to keep the game close. This play right here, you completely right, B. The whole momentum and how this game was going, it was like, we were upset on the live, right? This changed the whole course we took over the game after that.
Right.
I do understand everybody's pick, right? Because all those plays were like big plays, game-changing play of the year. But for mine, I went more to what excited me, something I'll never forget where I was at and when I was there. And for me, it was a Jacoby Lane one-hander against Georgia Southern. He had a guy draped. I don't know if I'll see another. Well, we probably will, but I'm gonna say I don't know if I'll see another prettier catch in my life. Like this was Odell Beckham-ish, early with the Giants. He had a guy
Jaden
all draped
Richardson?
over him. Huh?
You said Jay
Jay
Richardson in the bowl game.
catch in
Yeah,
the bowl
yeah.
Jay
game?
Richardson didn't have a kid hanging on to him though, Leon. This kid was holding on to him like he was his little brother.
Man, he was on his back.
Yeah, he was holding on to him like he was his little brother.
He palmed it like, you know how Jordan used to palm the ball and just wave it around and stuff. That's what he snatched that ball out there and never brought it into his body or anything, you know, and just held the ball out with one hand. So I mean that play there, to me, player of the year. I mean, of course, this game wasn't never, you know, close. It wasn't a season changing play like the ones you guys did. But man, I love that play, and that was a beautiful play. So I'm gonna give it to Jacoby Lane for my player of the year.
Shout out to David Luna for joining live. He says Ryan for coach of the year. Hey, David, are you subscribed to the channel? If not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. I don't know if you've been in here before, but we appreciate you coming in, my man. Ryan for coach of the year. I don't think that's going to happen though.
Now he's saying that was his coach of the year.
That was his coach of the year. I think he playing. I think he's trolling though.
He trolling, playing.
Yeah, he got to be trolling. He got to.
Yeah, he said yes, I am.
Okay. All right. All
right. Team MVP. The team MVP of the year. Got guns over at Like a Torch. He went with Lemon. B. Jones went with Lemon. USCJ gave me 2. He did like Carter. They both went with Cole. Said it was too difficult to decide. So they went with Lemon and Jaden Maava as their team overall MVPs of the year. All right, Leon.
Mr. Wide Receiver number 1, the best linebacker in the country. Best wide receiver in the country. Mr. Mekhi Lemon, Mr. Bolitnikoff. He's the overall MVP of the team. You want to talk about
founder in a couple months?
Yeah,
Mr. That.
And you know, we talk about, you know, Jay Maava being the offensive MVP, but Mekhi Lemon is the heart and soul of this team. He's the man that's tough, the man that played multiple games with broken ribs. You feel me? Now let's go to the stats.
Get to the stats, Leon.
He led the Power 4 conferences in receiving yards, most total receiving yards per game. He led the Big Ten in receptions per game at 6.6, yards after the catch, 502, receiving yards, tied for first in the Big Ten in touchdowns, tied first nationally with 50-plus first down receptions, first team All-American, unanimous, Bolitnikoff winner, Mr. Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver number 1, team MVP, overall MVP, toughness, you know,
All-American.
How many times we see this dude get hit and just get up? You feel me? Like Mr. Dependable. Like there's so many superlatives we could use for this guy, but
that hour game was, man, he showed up big time, didn't he?
Man, and don't forget in that Iowa game, the biggest player of the game, King Miller busted up the middle and fumble, and who was there to hop on that ball to save it for us to go down and get that game? Mr. Mekhi Lemon.
Right.
Yep.
All right, Lee, I ain't want to cut you off where.
Oh, I'm good. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
Okay. On to my man B Jinx.
Hey man, you know how can you argue anybody else other than Mekhi Lemon, man? It's not even a question for me. Mr. Clutch, I call him Mr. Clutch. I only wish that we had hired a special teams coach. And let me insert something real quick. We just USC Jay just broke the news. They did hire Mike Eckler to be the special team coach.
And linebacker. I think he'll be doing linebackers too, ain't he?
Well, yeah. I don't know how that's going to play. I know primarily they was going after for special teams, but I only wish that we had a special teams coach while Mekhi was here. You talk about going on off to the NFL, continuing that legacy. When you talk, other schools brag about being wide receiver, USC, takes second place to nobody. So I only wish that we had more. I only wish that we had another 21 players that we could field on, on game day with his heart. You talk about heart, just flat out, just desire and dog to be out there to block. Leon mentioned it earlier. His willingness to block on the outside. This is going to transition over to the NFL. We talk about the likes of who we got there now, especially more recent receivers. We talk about a Jordan Ross, talk about a Michael Pittman, you talk about Amara St. Brown, we talk about a Drake London. He's going to join that ranks, right?
You mean
He's
Jordan
gonna
Addison?
Jordan Addison. Yeah, excuse me. He's going to join that rank of receivers. Even I think Juju is still in the league. Nelson Aguilar is still in the league. He's going to be right up there with him. Robert Woods, he might be still in the league. So USC takes the back seat to nobody when it comes to wide receivers. Other people like to talk about LSU and your Ohio States. Listen, look up and down the rosters of the USC receivers in the league right now. And you're going to see we got just as many in the league as anybody else. So, but like I said before, I only wish that we had another 21 players that we could field on offense and on defense that had that heart, that desire to want to win, to want to be great like a Makai Lemon.
And that always kills me when they try to talk about wide receiver. You is simple. You look at what university has the most wide receivers drafted. Guess who that is?
Right.
USC.
USC.
Who has the most wide receivers in the Hall of Fame, in the NFL Hall of Fame? USC.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly stated where's wide receiver U is. Most of the people who say it, it's their generation, right? So they're looking at the last 10 years and that hype. But you're talking about wide receiver you have to look at the totality, right? Decades after decades after decades. And I clearly always say, who got the most wide receiver drafted in the NFL? They'll look it up. Oh, well, this player was this. Then I'm like, okay, so who has the most wide receivers in the NFL Hall of Fame? Oh, yeah, wide receiver you. There's nothing to talk about.
Right. Shout out to Joe underscore 760.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I can't say anything that hasn't been said, right? It's going to be Makai Lemon for me as well. And this is why it's the totality of the body of work, man. It's like when I leave this earth as a husband, as a father, and I'm no longer here, I want my kids to be able to look at the totality of their life and be like, man, my dad was always there. My dad did. I don't want moments. I want the totality, right? And if you look at the totality of what this kid did, it wasn't just catching the ball and route running. Man, it was blocking. A lot of times King Miller got those long runs is because the wide receivers are out there blocking. He was blocking for other wide receivers on wide receiver screens. I mean, he had 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns. He had a passing touchdown. Like the totality of the body of this work. Like I said, against Iowa, recovering that costly fumble that would have changed the whole game when we went down, took the lead. But it's the totality of work and everything that he brought to this team, man. And people fed off of him. And it's not like he was doing this in single coverage. This kid was getting double teamed and had cloud coverage over him every game. Oh, yeah. The game plan going into the game was, we got to stop 6. We got to make somebody else beat. And they couldn't stop him. So easily, I'm going to give my overall team MVP to Mr. Makai Lemon. And we will open up the calls here in a second, right? Before we do that, because that was our last award. I know a lot of people are just now getting on. So I'm just going to run through real fast all the awards before we close it out and start taking some calls. So the first award that we gave out was the USC Coach of the Year. Guns that Light the Torch said Chad Savage. B. Jones, Light the Torch Hansen. USCJ, Coach Simmons. Carter Sports said Hansen. Leon gave it to Zach Hansen. B. Jinx gave it to Anthony Jones, running backs coach. I gave it to Zach Hansen. The next award that went out was Position Group of the Year. Guns gave it to the running backs. B. Jones gave it to the O-line. USCJ gave it to the running backs. And Carter gave it to the wide receiver room. Leon gave it to the offensive line. B. Jinx gave it to the wide receiver room. And so did I gave it to the wide receiver room. Our offensive MVP of the year, Guns gave it to Lemon. B. Jones gave it to Lemon. USCJ gave it to Lemon. Carter Sports gave it to Lemon. Leon gave it to Jaden Maalva. B. Jinx gave it to Lemon. I gave it to Lemon as well. Defensive MVP award. Guns gave it to Bishop. B. Jones, USCJ gave it to Bishop. Carter Sports, please call in. We want to talk about this. Carter Sports gave it to nobody. So, Leon gave it to Bishop. Leon gave it to Bishop as well. B. Jinx gave it to Cam Crawford. I gave it to Bishop as well. The next award that was given out was Special Teams Player of the Year. Guns, B. Jones, and Carter Sports gave it to our kicker. Ryan Sierra, USCJ gave it to My Tai. How you say that last name? Tagwell? How you say? My
Tagawai.
Tagwell. There we go. Leon gave it to Ryan Sierra as well. So did be Jinx. So did I as well. Gave it Special Teams Player of the Year to Ryan Sierra. Breakout Player of the Year. Guns gave it to King Miller. B. Jones gave it to Tanuk Hines. USCJ gave it to Floyd Bacard. Carter Sports gave it to King Miller. Leon gave it to King Miller. B. Jinx gave it to King Miller. I gave it to King Miller as well for the Breakout Player of the Year. The next award we gave out was the Most Improved Player of the Year. Guns gave it to Tanuk Hines. So did B. Jones. USCJ gave it to Marcellus Williams. Carter Sports gave it to Jaden Walker. Leon gave it to Jaden Maalva. B. Jinx gave it to Marcellus Williams. And I gave it to Jaden Maalva as well. The next award we gave out was for Freshman of the Year. Guns gave it to Thanos Jakeem Stewart. B. Jones gave it to Floyd Bacard. USCJ gave it to Stewart. Carter Sports gave it to Tanuk Hines. Leon gave it to Tanuk Hines. B. Jinx gave it to Thanos. I gave it to King Miller, Freshman of the Year. The next award we gave out was the Player of the Year. Guns gave the lemon to Tanuk Hines TD against Oregon. B. Jones gave it to Mava's forced fumble against Northwestern. USCJ and Carter Sports gave it the back shoulder touchdown right before halftime to Lemon against Michigan. Leon and B. Jinx gave it to Jaden Maava, the forced fumble on the interception against Northwestern. And I gave it to Jacoby Lane, one-hand touchdown snag against Georgia Southern. And we just wrapped it up with the team MVP of the year. Guns gave it to Lemon. B. Jones gave it to Lemon. USCJ gave it to Lemon / Maava. Carter Sports gave it to Lemon / Maava. So they gave him Co. Leon gave it to Makai Lemon. B. Jeans gave it to Makai Lemon. And I gave it to Makai Lemon. So that is it, man. That's our first annual award show that we gave out to the players. So congratulations to all the players that got an award.
Let me go back to this comment.
Hold on, let me close this out when we'll get comments and calls. Yeah. So definitely shout out to everyone that got an award. Shout out to everybody in the comments that was sending in your picks and things as well. B, you can drop that link. We'll stay on for a little while longer, take some calls and things. But we did just want to touch on some good things that happened this year, right? And show credit to these kids. There were a lot of good stuff that happened this year, and these kids need to be, get their kudos and things for it. The season didn't go our way, but there still was a lot of good things that happened. So definitely appreciate there. Leon, appreciate it. We appreciate everybody in the comments. And before we move to other topics, especially since we just got a new DC, just real fast, man. First year, B, for me and you, we started the first game of the year. And then we start moving to weekly shows and 3 and 4 shows, and now we're full go. So this is our first annual. We'll be doing this at the end of every season, right? Award show. Leon B, how did it feel, and how rewarding and did it feel for you just to be able to, give these kids their kudos, acknowledgement, and do our first award show? I have fun doing it.
You're asking me?
Yeah, UMB.
Yeah. I mean, it felt great, man. I don't think listening to some of the parents on Twitter during the season and how they feel as though sometimes the young players aren't getting their just due, it felt really, really good to go through this and acknowledge all the players and the positive things that they've done, and understand they're going to make mistakes. That's a part of life. That's a part of adulthood. But it just felt good to be on a positive note. And I just appreciate you guys for letting me be a part of it.
Got you.
Yeah, for me, man, this year passed by so fast, right?
Man.
We talk about when we first started in September. I can remember. No, it was August when we recorded our first video, right, Chris? And
Right.
you and I, we was trying to get the intro down, and we couldn't get it down. Leon, it must have took us about 9 or 10 tries to get the intro down, right? But the more and more, honestly speaking, man, the more and more you do this, man, I'm not saying that it's not long hours, it's not tedious work, but it becomes easier because you develop a chemistry for each other. You definitely you develop a brotherhood for each other, man. We spent a lot of hours, watching USC football, covering USC football, bringing in, guests like Leon, who I consider to be our weekly resident, man, and be able to wrap up the season, head into next season. I look forward to this channel continue to grow, man. If you haven't, those out there that are listening to the show or go back and listening, that are on the live or go back and listen to the show. Hey, look, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe for us. Do us a favor. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit the like and share the content for us, man. We want to continue to grow, man, so we can continue to bring shows. We're definitely going to bring. We're definitely going to look at that growing next. Add a different format to the show. Add some more things, but we want to say from 4th and 9 to victory to you guys. It's been a fun ride this season, and we're looking forward to the team. Winning some more games. It's going to be some controversial hires that we're not going to agree with, right? A lot of people are not going to agree with, but we're here to support the team. Players come and go, coaches come and go, but the university is going to continue to stand. So those are here that are USC football fans. We especially the ones who've been fans, since the Pete Carroll era. We've seen our highs, right? And right now, but we've been, at some low points over the last couple of decades. We've had some enjoyable times winning some ball games, but we've also had some miserable times watching us lose the same way that we've lost over the past 2 decades since Pete Carroll left. So continue to support the team, man. Continue to support the channel. We got other platforms out there like USCJ that has been an inspiration to this channel. We talk about Carter Sports, man. Carter Sports was the reason why. He's one of the main reasons why, we got this thing rolling. We was on his live one day. He was like, B Jinx, man, you need to go ahead and start a channel. So definitely, I always give flowers to streamers like that. We talk about USCJ and Carter Sports, man. They're the reason why, we put this thing together. But it wouldn't be possible without fans calling in, interacting with us. We got other people that come on the show. Like I said, Leon come on the show. We got J.A. that come by the show. Tobias come by the show. Don't let me forget Austin come by the show.
Young Tiny
come by the show.
Baby T been with us since day one.
And who am I missing? Paulie Walnuts dropped by the show, light the torch.
Josh.
So we want to give us Josh always comes by the show, give his input. So
Tobias.
Tobias. We would like to thank everybody that has contributed to helping this channel grow, and we want to continue to reach new heights. So shout out to you guys. But again, a lot of times the coaching staff is not going to hire the favorite, our favorites, but as long as they hire the people that get us back on the right track, that's going to be the most important thing.
All right. And man, we'll go ahead and get this going.
Yeah. I'm dropping the link now. The link is in the chat. Go ahead and call in. I saw a comment said something about Gary Patterson, man. We can speak to that. Whether or not we think it was a good hire, you can give your perspective on it. I know they hired Mike Eckler to be the special teams coach, but now whether or not he's going to coach the linebackers too, we don't know.
Is it official?
He came up, but he dropped off. What's that?
Yeah, USCJ broke it.
Yeah, USCJ broke the Mike Eckler. Young Tiny, hold on, let me add him to the stage. Young Tiny, my man, what's up? What's going on? Carter, what's going on, my man? How y'all doing?
What's up, buddy?
Young Tiny, before you go, because I was hoping Carter was on earlier. Carter, I already knew, right? Because I put the things together. But I was so tickled earlier. I was like, I can't wait till this get on there. But a couple of people had questions for you, man, around your defensive MVP.
Hey, look, I was gonna go Bishop, right? Like everybody else. I ain't gonna lie. But he got hurt. He missed too many games. It was like he was balling. He got the highlights. He got the picks. But he didn't really change no games for us necessarily. I can't think of no games where I'm like, if Bishop wasn't there, like we wouldn't have won. You know what I'm saying? He was hurt.
Michigan game.
Yes,
Jakeem, go ahead.
you don't think
What about the Michigan game?
we would have won that? What game was that? He picked out one in the red zone.
Purdue. That was Purdue. He got 2 in the red in the end zone.
Okay. Oh yeah, he did do that. I think we probably would have still beat Purdue anyway, but I ain't knocking him. If I had to pick one, I would have picked one. But he was banged up. Jakeem was banged up. Like we had a lot of injuries on defense, so I couldn't really like just pick one person and be like, this was a defensive player of the year. Like,
hold on, Blackie Chain, shout out, like the torch, man. You have to go back and watch from the beginning, BC, as far as all the awards and what your counterpart sent in. Go ahead, Carter. I'm sorry.
yeah, so like to me, everybody was on defense was inconsistent. Bishop, he started off on fire. I think the first 4 games, and he had like 4 interceptions. Like the first 4 or 5 games, he already had like 3 or 4 interceptions. But the second half of the season, he started getting banged up. I started seeing less picks, and he didn't make plays at the line of scrimmage either. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about it, what was he really doing when he wasn't getting interceptions? I didn't see him coming down here, and maybe that's the scheme, but I didn't see him in the box making plays. I didn't see him really covering nobody, getting past breakups. It was just like he had them picks though. So when I really thought about Bishop, like, I can't call that a defensive player of the year because you got 5 picks. What did you do outside of that? And then Gentry was inconsistent. Jakeem got hurt. Floyd got hurt. So everybody I was thinking about had got injured or was inconsistent. So I was like, nobody the player of the year. Like,
let's get
y'all
young
wasn't
Tynus.
healthy.
Let's get young Tynus.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm gonna just say this. Carter, it wasn't as entertaining as I thought it was gonna be. I thought. I mean, with you being kosher today, I thought you were about to come on here and say some craziness about why you pick. I was ready to laugh.
No,
man.
I ain't gonna diss our players. No,
Carter.
I know
how you saying
like,
nobody is not a diss to the players though, Carter?
I know how I look. And
hey,
look,
B
look.
In the chat. Carter
Hey,
said,
look,
"B
I
Jinx
get
was
y'all.
mad because I said nobody."
Hey,
Oh, we just thought it was funny.
Look. I wasn't meaning that like as our dudes is trash. I think if you ask all our defensive players, I think they'll be like they could have played better. You know what I'm saying? I think they all be like, man, I could have been more consistent. You know, I missed everybody that I thought about y'all missed a couple of games though, or was like inconsistent. Like I said with Bishop, when he wasn't intercepting the ball, what was he doing? Not, I ain't saying he wasn't doing his job, but besides the picks, I didn't recognize him really out there on the field. And maybe that's a good thing with the scheme. Maybe he was just a deep ball safety, you know, don't let nobody get behind you.
He got some.
Hold on. Let's bring in Young Tyner real quick. Hold on, Young Tyner, my man. How you doing?
What up with it? How
Where
y'all
you
doing?
been, loved one?
Hey,
loved one.
I've been loved one. Man, I'm always here. I'm always supporting. Just because sometimes I can't get on, don't mean I ain't. You feel me? I'm always listening. I'm always supporting. Yes, sir. Hey, I want to congratulate y'all on getting through the first season too, man. That's it's a blessing, man. It's only gonna look up from here, man. Y'all know y'all got my support always.
Most definitely. So
man,
on the real.
So we get word. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead,
No, go ahead, B. Go ahead.
Yeah. So USCJ broke the news. I want to say another site broke the news. I know Carter got something probably coming out in a minute about Mike Eckler coming on to coach the special teams. But from what I hear, he's going to he might have some input on the linebackers coach. Have you heard anything, or is that the way you think the team?
I heard. The only thing I heard of, and I don't really speak on that. I don't know or ain't heard of. I heard of somebody was. I heard about a defensive analyst type coming in, kind of like how when we brought in, which was weird to me when we brought in. Dang, he was on the coaching staff with my nephew across town. What's his name? His son played for Washington, the lineman. His name crossing me, man. Remember he came on. We added him late. He came on as an analyst. He was an offensive
Oh, you
line
talking
coach forever,
about
but
yeah,
Yeah,
Clem.
we
You
put
talking
him
about
on
Clem.
defense.
You talking about
yeah,
Clem.
Adrian
Okay.
Clem. Yeah, something similar to that, but nothing in depth. Um,
Okay.
in my honest opinion, I don't feel like everybody really doing their research, bro. Gary Patterson nobody should be hollering out his name, bro. If
Mm.
go do your research instead of just hollering out Gary
I,
Patterson
I
because you
know.
think he got experience.
Now we've seen. I seen it. I remember when it actually happened.
I
So I
know
know
you
what you're saying.
did, but a lot of these dudes don't though. You know what I mean? And it's underlining issues why people don't want Henny and why they want Gary Patterson. It's just, bro, it's just I don't know. I'm kind of over that. But yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean,
It be so much going on.
you would think USC, done the research
They have,
as
they
as
have.
well. Well, they,
Everybody probably just ain't on the same page, but they have.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
rough,
so
bro. We don't
so
need
young
that
Tanya, let me
culture.
ask you
Why
a
everybody
question.
talking about culture? Everybody talking about culture. If you feel like we need that culturizing, that's nothing but a simple for whoever in the comments talking about Gary Patterson, Google. That's your best friend right now. It ain't even nothing to hide. Just Google. Do your Google research.
So young
Just
Tanya, let me
Google
ask.
Gary Patterson controversy.
So young Tanya, let me ask you a question, young
Yes,
Tanya.
sir.
Are you leaning more so now that we're coming up close to the portal closing? I think it closes after tomorrow, right? On the 16th.
Uh huh.
Is your opinion? This is just your opinion. Then I get back to Carter and to JA. Is this your opinion?
Okay.
Should we just go ahead and hire in-house and go with Henny or maybe Belk or maybe the combination of two, or continue to um, shake the trees and see what fall out and potentially get somebody else in here with experience?
In my honest opinion, once I weigh all the options, like in my honest opinion, you asking me my honest
Yes, yeah,
opinion.
yeah. Your
It
opinion.
hasn't
Your
it
opinion.
hasn't it wasn't clear cut until I start really knowing like in depth stuff going on. You feel me?
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like at this point, do I want the best person for the job? Yes. But I must honestly say that I feel like a lot of people is throwing out experience. Oh, this guy has never called plays. He's never been a D. How you ever supposed to get experience if you don't be given the opportunity? And
Yeah.
sometimes not sometimes, it's more to factor in than just experience. You
Mhm.
feel me? So just because you experience and you've been a DC for 10, 15, 20 plus years don't make you the better option. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? And
Okay.
like bringing in somebody new, shaking things up.
Carter,
I
look at
would,
the
I would,
screen. Go ahead,
I
young
would
time. I
say
just told Carter look at this
Yeah,
didn't
screen.
mention Bishop or did I would Blackie Chan crazy. I know Blackie Chan, I was same thing. I will hope that everybody understand that bringing somebody else in. Everybody's talking about culture. Everybody's talking about the team, like what we at now. But like bringing somebody else fresh in will shake things up, like the words you just alluded to, B Jinx. So
Hmm.
in my opinion, man, it's hard, man. Because I don't want to. With everything I know, like I kind of feel like we should stick to it. Okay, now let me just throw this out there. Those guys up in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, that love to be against us, that ain't never won nothing, right?
Right.
Those guys up there with the
Yeah.
120,
Yeah.
30,000 uniform combinations, right?
Right.
Everybody always want to compare us to them. What they just do? They hired in house, right?
So check this out,
They
though.
hired.
This is my only thing to that, young Tony. They
Okay.
promoted their safety coach and offensive coach,
Uh huh.
right, instead of hire from the outside. The
Yep.
difference is their defense was good. We're in a different situation. Our defense wasn't good last year. Like if our defense was a top 10 defense and stuff like Oregon's defense, then you can say, okay, yeah, I'll hire inside. But then when the program is looking at it, they're saying we're trying to make a position coach our defensive coordinator when his position
His
was probably the
position.
best
I
group
get
on
that argument.
the team. So, and I'm not arguing for it or against it. I'm just saying it's a different situation than what Oregon is.
No, I know you just throwing out the facts out there, and I respect that, and I'm both ends. That's why I say it was never just flat out clear cut. You know what I'm saying? But like It's just certain things other things that I know is just like it's hard, man.
Well,
I know I wouldn't go get Gary Patterson though. I know for sure I wouldn't go.
We can make it easy because right now it looks like Gary Patterson is the choice. So the question really is, would you rather have Henny or bring in Gary Patterson? I think everybody's gonna say we might as well should have kept Henny.
Yeah, I get Henny over Gary Patterson with what I know.
Right. And it may be a situation to where they're bringing in Patterson, have him teach Henny the ropes, situational play calling, since he does have that in-depth experience, and what more so like a consultant than anything, with plans on making Henny the official DC just to see how it work out. You got to remember what we're faced against next year, that schedule. So Carter, I'm gonna go to you, and then I'm gonna come to you, J.A.
Are you familiar with the saga? The issue.
Hey, can I say one thing, y'all? Can I say one thing? Let me say one thing real quick. And y'all know I got major love for y'all, and I would never disrespect y'all platform. But fight on natties. Come on, bro. Like, call in. Let's hear your opinion on here, because you do a lot of like type, like keyboard warrior stuff, bro. I got look, fight on natties. I'm not even gonna expose you on here, bro. But I got stuff on you, bro. You're not. Come on, dude. Stop doing that, bro. We here just having a good, honest discussion about this. Everybody opinion ain't gonna be the same, but you always coming with some.
What happened,
bro? I'll hit y'all offline and tell y'all, bro. This dude is something else, bro. He hit me. I'll tell you right now if you want to know how he hit.
Hold on, y'all. Tyler, we gonna get to that. I want to get.
I'm trying to figure out what he talking about.
I want to get Carter's perspective.
Fight on natties. That dude fight on natties.
I don't want to put
what I'm talking about.
The comment he made, Chris. I don't want to put it back up. But Carter, let me come to you, and then J.A. You right after Carter. I haven't forgotten that you're there. But Carter, as far as from your opinion, this is just your opinion. You think that that the team, considering that there's cohesiveness there and the players really want to play for a coach like Coach Henny and maybe even give Belk a chance, you think that the coaching staff or the front office should go with a coach like Coach Henny as opposed to bringing in Patterson?
I wouldn't bring Patterson in, but I'm still going to go for an experienced DC that's going to keep our assistants. And I think it's that dude. What's the dude name? He coached a lower level, but he got a great track record. His defense is great. He from Southern California.
From Missouri?
Huh?
You talking about the guy from Missouri?
What's his last name?
Leon, do you know the coaches from Missouri last name? I can't remember. But while they look for it, Carter, you got to remember, man, you can't. It wouldn't be fair to a DC to bring in a DC, and somebody else might feel different. It wouldn't be fair to a DC to bring him in and then tell him, "Hey, look, we already got your assistants."
You talking about Corey Batoon?
Yeah.
Batoon.
Yeah.
Hey, B Jinx, and to touch on what you just said, B Jinx, do you think our current staff will want to coach on the staff with him?
With Batoon or with Patterson?
With Patterson. Do you honestly think that just your opinion, just from what you know, Sharp, do you think that our current coaching staff will want to work with Gary Patterson?
Absolutely.
So
not.
my thing is that if they do bring in Patterson, they have talked to the staff about it, because their main goal has been keeping the staff. That's why they're having to find a coach that's willing to not bring their own staff and keep.
That's what I'm saying. Look, that's why I said Batoon, because he will have the less ego out of everybody. Patterson, he been a head coach before. Martindale, he been in DC for a long time. He probably feel like he earned the respect to give him his own staff. You got to get a young upcoming dude that's going to be like, okay, you know what? As long as I get my foot in the door, I ain't got my staff, but hey, I'm DC at USC, and if I do good, now I'm finna elevate my status. You feel what I'm saying? So we gonna have to get a young up and coming dude who don't feel like he's entitled to be able to pick his whole staff. So I think like Batoon is perfect, especially since he from California. He know all our schools. He know where to recruit, and he been down there in the SEC, so he got ties to recruiting pipelines down there too. And I feel like he the perfect choice for what we want.
But even with that, though, Carter, the players, from what I'm understanding, the players want Henny. That's what I'm hearing.
But
Let's go to JA real quick. Let's go to JA. Hold on, Carter. We're gonna come back to you. JA, my man, you there?
Man, y'all know I'm not gonna miss it. Come on now.
All right, so
How y'all brothers doing?
you've heard the
What
conversation.
up, Jay?
Right?
What's up, fam?
You've heard the conversation,
All right,
right?
fam.
So, and this is just your opinion now. Do you go with the player friendly coach, the favorite for the players, or do you go elsewhere and bring in somebody with the experience, considering what they're facing next year and going forward?
I'm going with who the players love, and I'm gonna tell you there's one or two reasons I've seen from the past. Y'all remember when Sark got canned and everybody went to
Yeah.
Ogeron, and then players was willing to run through a wall for him?
That was Kiffin. That wasn't on the Sark.
It was Kiffin, but they was willing to run through a wall for him, and then he went over to LSU and got a ship, right? When a kid's willing to run through a wall for you, that's a whole different type of position that you have motivation, as opposed to what I seen this year on the field. They wasn't willing to run through a wall for Lynn. Now, what I will do, I'm gonna go grab somebody this is a long stretch, but a Pete Carroll or Ed Ogeron, I'm not gonna have him as a defensive coordinator. I have him as like an assistant, or what do they call an analyst, and put him in
That's
the booth.
what I said earlier. Yeah.
Put them in the booth so they can overlook everything, oversee it with experience. But now you got your guys who's on the field, keeping them hungry, really calling plays, but also got a great perspective from up in the booth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I want to
I
go
like
back
that,
to.
Jay.
I want to go back to Carter. I want to go back to
Carter cooking in the comments.
That's what I'm going to. That's what I'm going to now. Carter, and I think Carter just on his joke game today. He said
they didn't really want Helton. Come on now, Carter.
Hold on. The players did want Helton. Yes, they did.
A couple of them, not like
after Sark got fired, the players wanted Helton.
They did want Helton. They did.
Most definitely.
Well, just because he was nice.
Okay.
The
players that want you for the wrong
reason. He's a good guy.
The players that want you for the wrong
reason. I'm glad you mentioned that, J.A. When you talk about a player favorite coach or player friendly coach, when you think about a coach like a Pete Carroll who was generational, he's once in a lifetime. But when we talk about Helton let a lot of that talent slip out of Southern Cali, if we want to be honest about
it. Yep.
He let a lot.
You know why?
Why?
Because the players, the guy's a nice guy. He's cool. He's great. But the parents like, you're not playing for him. There's a lot of parents who had a nice guy, great person to be around, but X's and O's not proven on the field.
Jay, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you think the players they gonna run through a wall for Henny?
Absolutely.
Well, what was that wall at against TCU? Why we have 4 missed tackles? Like, I mean,
I think a lot of that will happen.
Don't do that, bro.
Okay,
but I was disappointed in that too. But I think I know that ultimately lost the game for us. But I just feel like everybody judging Henny off that, and you know what I'm saying, that last play, bro. Like Henny done missed them tackles, bro.
1 day, 2 days to prepare for a bowl game.
Look, Henny didn't miss that tackle, but J.A. said that they'll run through a wall, so that means you're gonna play.
No, I'm not saying that, Carter. I'm not saying that, loved ones. I'm just saying that I don't feel like we should necessarily judge Henny off that last play.
Oh, no,
that's all I'm respectfully saying.
Going off what J.A. said about how the players run through a wall.
Well, okay, I need to rephrase what I said. Let me rephrase what I said.
Hold on. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm not judging him. I'm not judging him off that one play.
I got you.
I'm not judging him off that one play. I'm judging him off a whole season of
his position group
getting pushed 7 and 10 yards back every game.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I can't argue against that.
That's my hesitation.
Yeah,
I can't argue against that.
Now you're not getting a position group ready to play. You're getting entire defense.
Yeah, and the D line was our worst position group. Let's keep it real.
So considering that, and we're gonna go to Leon next. Considering that,
I still would keep Henny. If my only option is Henny or Patterson, give me Henny.
Yeah, I agree.
My thing is this: considering that, do you allow the players? Because from what I understand, and there's been chatter about it, a lot of players talking about leaving if they don't, make Henny to DC. Do you allow a handful of players to hold the program at bay like that? Do you allow them to hold the program hostage as opposed to going out?
They can't leave the next year now.
But even with that though, they can still leave after next year. That's the thing when you talk
What
about.
did I miss? Did I miss anything? No, because I never, and I could be wrong. I'm not on Twitter and all that, but I haven't actually seen a player say if Henny gone, I'm gone. I just seen them advocating for him. I never seen if keep Henny or else. I never seen that. I just seen advocating. So to me, when you advocating for a coach, and I know it was examples for Hilton and such a so on, so on, so on, but for me, that says a lot about the coach. If we're talking culture, if you're advocating, I don't agree that players should run a team or be the GM. Not at all. You feel me? But if players are advocating for, I ain't heard nobody never say nothing good about Lynn, bro.
At all.
2 years, nobody say nothing about Lynn, bro.
Let's go to Leon. Leon.
And he
okay. All right, let's go to Leon real quick. Leon, when you talk about you spoke on culture, right? We talked about the culture has been set, how these kids are playing hard. But when you think about what the program is lacking, we haven't been to a playoff yet, 2014. And in that game, I like Henny, but even though he had one game to prepare, how much do you need to prepare in order for these to get these kids to tackle? They made 16 tackles in that game. When you talk about building a culture, what type of leader do you want in a DC that's going to not only get these guys to run through a wall, but to get these guys technically sound?
Well, I think if we're going to talk about Lynn and his personality, he was very kind of like the way he coached. Kind of safe. If you look at how he played the cornerbacks 10 yards off the line of scrimmage all the time. And then if you look at Henny seems more of a in your face. And I've read reports where Noah and Henny were like, Henny was the bad cop and Noah was the good cop in the way they train the players. And so like maybe Henny's a more aggressive type of guy and he's going to have guys being more aggressive. We're going to see more bump and run man to man by the cornerbacks. And you talk about not letting the players run the team. A lot of the issues with USC have been in the trenches when we talk about the offensive and defensive lines. Those defensive line players that we got are here because of Henny.
Right.
You're talking about Jamion Winfield. You're talking about Floyd. You're talking about Thanos. You're talking about Luke Wayfield, Tom, all those guys.
No, you can't put Wayfield in that.
Listen. All right, hold on. Let me finish, bro. Let's take Wayfield out of here. Them interior defensive line guys who are high 4 or 5-star guys, the guys we wanted, are here because of Henny. If Henny's not here, a lot of those guys are going to leave. And then if they do leave, we're back in the same situation where we don't have the Jimmies and the Joes to play the defensive line and stop the run, which is everybody keeps crying about. And so are you gonna give Lincoln Riley time to get a new defensive line guy come in and then re-recruit some big time defensive linemen to stop the run? And if we're losing games because the line up the par, y'all gonna give him a pass? No.
Of course not. You know they're not.
But what we're saying,
my thing is, as far as judging him off one game, right, and the amount of missed tackles, right, I'm not putting the missed tackles on him as that was a defensive coordinator issue. We've missed tackles all year, right? So it didn't start that game, right? So when I'm looking at a coordinator, right, and it's a 1-game sample, I'm looking more at the X's and O's, the schemes, third down calls, down and distance calls, what plays are being called and things of that nature, right? And there are some good things that happen in there defensively, right? And it can be taught and it can be learned. And Carter, my only issue about that game was that whenever we sent 4 or more, TCU didn't have an answer for us. But my only concern with that game, schematically wise, was that anytime they got in behind the sticks, right, we would only rush 3 guys and let their quarterback sit back there and do whatever, and they burnt us every time. So it's not even the missed tackles, because you can't put that on the DC in one game. We missed tackles all year, so that was inherited, right? And if you can't tackle at the beginning of the season, in the middle of the season, that's something that hampers us all year. But as far as the defensive game plan, for the most part, I have to give Henny his credit. When we did different zone blitzes, or we lined up, we went to a 3-4, but yet we still, rushed 4 or 5. They had no answer for it. My only issue was that every time we got them behind the sticks in a second and long, it was predictable that we were going to drop back and only send 3. And TCU picked up on that real early. And every time we did it, and every time they made us pay on it.
And
now,
another
Chris,
thing
can I ask you a
want to
question?
say something real quick. Like, how we so sure that these players is gonna leave because of Henny? I remember when Thanos committed, when he had on that fly little suit he had on with the SC hat, and they asked him why he committed to USC, and it was a 5-minute answer. He had multiple reasons. He understand the education, he
The
understand the
Universal
marketing.
Studios is there.
He Thanos get
Production.
everything that USC got to offer. Henny was just a part of his answer, but the 90% of his answers was everything that didn't have nothing to do with Henny. Plus, his NIL is quarterback level. Luke Wakeful was gonna leave us for Ohio State if they outbidded us. So Luke Wakeful with us for the bag. So it's like, I think we overreaching just to think everybody's gonna leave because of Henny. That means y'all saying USC ain't got nothing else good to offer. Like, we ain't got the best education, one of the greatest alumni bases. You in Los Angeles. If we want you, Chad Bowden gonna make sure you paid. I'm not sure nobody will leave. They might be disappointed, like, damn, that's my guy, but I ain't finna leave my high-rise apartment in downtown LA in this fat NIL for Henny.
Right.
Or this
I
bomb
want
education.
With a brand new Benz. With a brand new Benz.
Exactly. So we need to pump the brakes
You'll
that we
be
think
surprised,
the
bro.
whole class is gonna fall apart if Henny
Right.
leaves. No, Henny is one of the reasons. Henny
Uh-huh.
is icing on the cake for these kids to come to USC. They
Carter,
come because of NIL.
you missed one key thing why they came and why they won't leave.
Let me know.
Carter Sports right there in LA. They want to be on the show.
Let's go to
You feel
JA.
me? They
They want to be on the show.
Let's go to
they know the vibe.
Let's go to JA.
But I
and
do
then
want to know y'all opinion though. Do y'all think I'm on to something, or is it like, nah, Carter, they gonna leave?
yeah, and I
I
agree
don't
with
think
you
it'll be.
to a
They
certain
gon'
extent. I agree
Go
with
ahead,
you to
B.
a certain extent.
Nah, they gone, bro.
It's kind of it's kind of hard to leave all of that behind, but we would be crazy to think that some of these kids don't commit to position coaches, whether the NIL is involved or not. So JA, I want to come to you. So a lot of kids, and again, this is just chatter. This is from what I'm hearing. A lot of these kids are talking about, go ahead and putting their name in the portal if certain coach don't get that defensive coordinator spot. But if we're going to see the same type of results we saw in 2025, would USC be okay in your perspective, in your opinion, and letting that coach go?
Oh, great question. I believe yes, if they let the coach go. I mean, anything that you look at has to be the best for the program.
Exactly.
Like and the best for the kids too, but the kids are the program. So it's what's the best for the program. In regards to like if a coach goes, I mean, there's going to be coaches interchangeable every year in every single program. So you can't really sell it on just, the coach. Like, I believe a lot of them will, but if they haven't done it yet, then there's some type of guarantee they have either toward the program or the coach or somebody telling them something, because we're not seeing them jump in. They got a day or two left. So we'll look in a day or two and then we can look, hindsight's always 20/20. So we can look and then at the end of it, we can be like, okay, nobody jumped in. Now they're stuck for a year. And if they may feel like they're stuck for a year, or they may just play it out a year to see what the new defensive coordinator looks like, because they do have a lot of guarantees. a lot of people don't understand this about SC is like they're offering up a lot more than, 90%, 95% of the programs in the United States. And you may see a lot more, like all these programs are giving up money, but it's just like Carter stated earlier, man, like Oregon's not a private league, a private school or like an Ivy League type, education. The only other schools that you could get that are literally like universities that have strong football teams and these other teams don't is like a Cal or like a Stanford that's on the West Coast.
Hold on a second. Chris got to get ready to get out of here. Chris, you want to say anything to the to the show before you get up out of here?
Nah, man, I appreciate everybody, man. I gotta go do some father duties, man. Get to my family.
Yes, sir.
My wife watching. Appreciate you allowing me to do this and holding it downstairs with the two babies. Why I took 2 or 3 hours a week doing this, man. So shout out to my wife for allowing me the opportunity to do this. But man,
tell her we appreciate her too.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep. So I'm out of here, man. Y'all can keep it going.
Fight on.
All right, fight on.
Chris.
Hey, Leon,
Right,
you
bro.
want to say anything before you get out of here? Leon got to go too, fellas.
Yeah, this again, man. Much appreciation to you and Chris for letting me come on the platform, man. And listen, y'all got something unique. When can you come on a podcast, watch the game with people you appreciate, people you respect, and chop it up and talk about the game for a school that you love to watch, man? So, man, keep doing what y'all doing, man. I'm going to support, man, any way I can.
Appreciate you, my man. Fight on, Leon.
All right, man. Fight on.
Right on.
All right, Chris. Uncle Boom, appreciate you joining the live, my man. You there?
Yo,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
what up, Boom?
Coach Rob
so
Ryan for coach. Rob Ryan for coach of the year. Everybody.
so you've been
Uncle
listening.
Boom.
You've been listening to the and JA. I'm gonna come right back to you, but you've been listening to the live, right? And we're talking about the DC and potentially losing out on some current players. We're gonna get your opinion real quick, and then we're gonna go back to JA. As far as the DC, we understand that what's his name, Gary Patterson, is expected to be hired. Give us your opinion on it, or do you think that we should promote from in-house?
At this point, I believe in-house would more than likely be the best option, especially if you got Doug Belk or Henny at the moment. Reason being is because the way the players played against TCU, it seemed like they played a lot faster and more aggressive with Henny, even though Henny literally only had like 15 hours to prepare for the game, right? So I'd rather give Henny a shot. To me, this is year 5 for make or break for Riley either way. So it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter who you bring in. If USC doesn't get to the playoff this year and it's 9-3 the way it was this year, or 8-4, or God forbid I say 7-5, Lincoln Riley's going to be gone, and we're going to be hurting regardless. So I think Henny should get a shot. To be honest with you, at the end of the day, you have assistants to develop them, and from some things that I read after after he left to Penn State, the player Deanton Lynn wasn't able to reach the players, and Henny would have to go in at halftime and get them re-engaged, and he had them playing a lot more faster, focused, and more aggressive on defense. So it just kind of the proof is in the pudding at the same time.
And Uncle Boom, let me add to that. And that's why everybody wondering, dang, why are we coming out in the second half? Why we wasn't playing like this in the first half? Why the defense? How many people we shut out in the second half after going down? You know what I'm saying? But but I still gotta give my little opinion on that. But you going back to J-Dub, right?
We're going back to JA real quick.
JA, not J-Dub. My bad.
I'm glad you brought that up, Tiny. JA, and we're going to switch it right here. JA, we talk about the way the defense looked in the first half, and Young Tiny just mentioned it, and then came out in the second half, looked totally different. Would you attribute that more so to, like you said, the pep talk from Henny, and why not get a pep talk prior to the first quarter?
I can tell you who I don't apply it to is Lynn.
Okay.
There's no way, because I'm just looking at the coaches, their style, how they get down. Like somebody like Ogeron, he can make you go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even like Pete, he can make you go. Right. Henny can make you go. I feel like Reed can make you go. Like, hey, man, listen, we put you in the right position, bro. You got to do what you got to do. And step it up and talk to the kids. Mental game, because they already got the physical. Like, here, man, you're in the right position. You can make the play. Let's just go. Like there's no, like, no more lackadaisical or, trying to take a play off or just thinking that you're just physically better and more in tune than it is to play the game. Because that's not the case.
Okay, shout out to Drake.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the mental game. And I believe these coaches can get into their mental game.
Right. Shout out to Drake Day for joining live. He just made a comment. Listen, if this is your first time joining 4th and 9 to Victory, I appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. Go ahead and hit the like, hit the bell for notifications whenever we drop content. Carter, coming back to you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Young Tiny, and then we're going to Carter. Go ahead, Young Tiny.
Okay, no problem. I still wanted to comment because I want to let Carter know that what Carter was saying. Carter, like, honestly, loved ones, I don't think it will be a mass exodus, but I just think it'll be a significant exodus. Like, it's gonna be significant pieces. You know what I'm saying? And it probably won't even just be players. Honestly, I think
this what I think. The significant piece, you talking about somebody like Thanos and Winfield, right?
I mean, they're the obvious people because people going off of them advocating in their tweets, but it's more than that.
I think USC would step up to the front and be like, what you need to stay. And they gonna come up with it. I seen them do that for Bear. So I know they'll do that for Thanos. And they did that for Bear when our money wasn't even right, when we still had Dave Emmerich.
Yeah,
so I feel like the USC brand is more powerful than Coach Henny. Y'all acting like Hennessy is bigger than Hennessy.
You gotta remember,
like Henny is bigger than USC.
We at a point now where, like you said, we did, our brand went down to these new kids, to this youth. They don't look at USC brand like us, bro. They was over there with the million in the SEC country and with the million uniforms up in the Pacific Northwest, bro. They not looking at we just getting that back.
Tiny, how long Henny been here?
A year and a half, 2 years now, right?
2 years now.
Okay, his first year he was here.
Mm-hmm.
What did we do in recruiting?
The first year, my ham.
So our class was probably ranked like number 11. I'm saying USC got turned back up because of NIL and Chad Bowden, bro. Because even when we had,
he wasn't there though. He wasn't there though, Carter. When we got
Jay, hold on, Jay. Go ahead, Carter.
I'm gonna point it out to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We had Justice Terry committed. We had Isaiah Gibson committed. And we had somebody else. Oh, we had the safety from Florida. They all decommitted because the NIL wasn't right. So y'all talking about this and this. Hold on, y'all talking this and this about Henny, but Henny couldn't even get the players. He got Thanos because we coughed up the money. We said, nah, we coughing up the money for him. But Henny didn't matter to our recruiting without NIL. That's the case the last year class would have been stacked like this.
So ain't nobody saying you ain't facts about that. I'm not saying that Henny is the sole like NIL plan and that's my point. It's not the USC brand, bro. It's like you saying, it's the NIL. Jay, okay, for example, when Jay was putting out videos saying that the other day, people was calling him a homer and killing him for it. Now everybody's saying that. My thing is, you right about that, bro. You absolutely right. NIL plays a big game. And earlier somebody mentioned education, bro. Ain't nobody looking for education no more. It's sad right now, bro. Ain't nobody saying, oh, I'm leaving with a degree from SC. Ain't no continuity in the education if you hit in the portal every year or two. You know, how you get an education?
I want to double down on that, Young Tiny. Also, there's no loyalty with NIL in the portal around now. So those days long gone. But somebody made a key point. These kids wasn't really around to see, was too young to understand the Pete Carroll dynasty. So considering that, and I'm going to Uncle Boone, and then we're going to go to JA. Considering that, Uncle Boone, NIL, would it keep these players around if Henny and Bill and Reed decide to vote?
Relationship wise, no.
Okay.
You'll lose some big pieces. You won't like I think Young Tiny said it, you won't see a mass exodus, but you'll end up losing big pieces that will be hard to fill going into next year, which is 2027. So you will lose some big pieces.
And then to piggyback on
Go ahead,
that,
Jay. Go ahead,
you'll
Jay.
you'll lose big pieces because I understand what Carter was saying, like, okay, because the NIL, but what happens when you have the best coach, but he also got a bag to offer you? Now, every program has a bag, right? But you're losing why you really like, maybe he was that difference maker. Now he's gone. I could go get a bag anywhere I want to go.
I want to reiterate this too. USC Jay had Booby Feaster's dad on earlier in the season, and Booby Feaster's dad said verbatim, if Lincoln Riley were to get fired, that entire offensive class would not, basically the entire offensive class would not be signing with USC.
Exactly,
That's
they're
the head
gone.
Let me
coach
say that.
though. That's the head coach though. And let me
No,
just give
that's
y'all.
no, that's
No,
that,
but
that's the
hey,
no, that's the offensive side of the ball. He said strictly the offensive players. He didn't say anything about defense. He said the offensive players strictly
I know, but
would
you still
Off
would.
talking
of
about a
board, what
head
Carter
coach.
is saying is that the head coach. It's a little
That's the head
different
coach. That
when you
of
talk about
course
the
you
head
gonna
coach.
reconsider. He
Yeah,
get an
no, but
okay, but look, I'm gonna give y'all a real life scenario. So when
That's
Coach
a
Lynn
head
got fired,
offensive head coach.
look, I'm gonna give y'all a real life scenario. When Coach Lynn got fired, I was talking to my cousin. He on the team. I said, how y'all feeling over there? He said, we chilling. He said, we just waiting to see who the next coach is. So before these kids even leave, they first thing gonna be who the next coach. Because I'm talking to my cousin and he like, that's the vibe on the team. They just waiting to see who the next guy is. So if these dudes leave, but these USC hire a coach that they like, say they hire a coach that recruited them in high school and they almost committed to that coach at another school. Like these players don't have relationship with these our coaches. They have relationships with coaches around the country. So if Henny and them left, I'm telling y'all, the first thing the players gonna be thinking like, okay, what I'm gonna do is gonna depend who come in next. And I'm just giving y'all real life examples from the players how they was thinking when Lynn was gone. They wasn't tripping. They just like we just trying to see who
Once
next.
again, and I'm in agreement with that because I get the same sentiment when I talk to my folks. But like I'm saying, it won't
they
be a
wasn't
mass
tripping off Lynn
exodus.
because Lynn
Hold
was
on,
trash.
It won't.
Hold on, J.A. I'm gonna come to you next. Go ahead, young time. I'm coming to you
It
next.
won't. It won't be a mass exodus. But for a team, for a program that for the last 2 years, that where I can say we improved in recruiting. I'm just saying it'll be significant pieces that will be lost and that will set us back. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the whole team gonna hit the portal, such and such gonna leave, but it's gonna be significant players and potentially significant coaching staff that will get on. That's it. I'm just keeping it real, and that will set us back. That's all I'm saying. I'm just
I
keeping it
respect your
real.
opinion. I
Yeah,
respect it.
and I'm
My
and
question to J.A. I'm gonna go to J.A. real quick. My question to J.A. is, can USC afford to lose a few key pieces and still be okay for the 2026 season?
No, like there's no way. Not that's not gonna happen. And then also, and then Carter, you and I've agreed on this, and I know we all know people inside the program. The reason why Lynn wasn't really a big loss is because he played favorites.
he wasn't popular amongst the
He
players either
wasn't
or the
popular amongst
parents.
the players and
Yeah.
the parents. He was not at all. And so it's like when he left, it's kind of like, oh man, but you get somebody like a Henny or a Belk or
Right.
a Reed or even Nua or even I bet Rob Ryan got more pull with the players because he's a cool dude. You know what I mean? Like to hang around, keep
Yeah.
it real, keep it 300 with you, that
And
type of
that's why
thing.
what Carter's saying is true. That's why, like his cousin and then other players and things, I heard they wasn't tripping. They just waiting to see what our
Who's
next
gonna
move
do?
is.
Right? Yeah, I
My
get. Yeah, I get.
here's my only concern is this. Um, Riley got a lot riding on next season. And that schedule is a month. I don't know who they're going to add, which team they're going to add for that 12th game. They haven't added someone so far. I don't expect for it to be another big time opponent, considering the gauntlet they got to go through the schedule. Riley got a
Big
lot.
Jinx, they gonna add somebody they can beat.
That's expected. That's expected. That's why I'm saying that.
Right, and probably put it later in the season.
Riley got a lot riding on next season. And I understand this. I understand the fact that, hey, look, you can't get experience until you're given the opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
If not for just somebody in Henny's ear to come in and guide them through tough, game time situations, what to expect, tendencies of an offensive coordinator. You got to think about it. In my opinion, it was a few times that, Henny got out schemed in that TCU game. I'm not saying that, okay, he had sufficient time to get ready, but you got to think about the offensive coordinators he's going to go against next year if he's given that opportunity.
Hey, B Jinx, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out with who I'm riding with. With what we put together the last 2 years, all of us agreed that the staff, the GMs, the 2 recruiting classes, everything has been in place. We finally got our NIL rocking and rolling. Just because Lynn go over there to Penn State Happy Valley, I'm not gonna break it all up for that. I'm gonna stay in-house. You know what I'm saying? The culture, the continuity. Yeah, we could be better. Yeah, I want us to be better. Yeah, I hate how we've been playing. You feel me? I'm right there. Man, I share the same frustration with everybody. Feel me? Everybody want to throw that Homer word out there. No, I don't even know what that is, bro. I'm just a Trojan at heart. Of course, we all got different opinions, but we all agree that we need to be better and we want to be better. But we all also agree the last season and a half to 2 seasons, we've made the moves to make our program look up, right? In a positive, right?
Hey, this the elephant in the room, though. This the elephant in the room. Me and Guns were talking about this in the chat.
He keep talking about he an alum booster. Nobody want to. All right, go ahead, bro.
Look. After Friday, the players can't go nowhere. They gonna be in the Desmond Williams situation with Washington. USC got their contracts locked in. So after Friday, they can't hop in the portal. So that's why I think it's gonna be an outside hire. USC waiting to announce the DC after the portal close, so nobody can hop in that thing. So it's really irrelevant. These players gonna be
crazy
locked
with
in
that,
after
Carter?
Friday.
And what's crazy, I'm not even against an outside hire as long as we keep everybody intact. Like I'm saying we can't bring somebody in that's even going to frustrate because Henny got character. Maybe Henny be like, oh, okay, I like that DC. Like bring him in. Just say, for example, I'm just gonna throw out a fan favorite name. Just say like a Pete Carroll. We know that ain't it, but I'm just saying. Or just say Pete Carroll can be our coach. And he want to keep Henny, he want to keep Belk and everybody. I think they'd be willing to be on a coaching staff with him. You feel me? Like
Tiny. That's the issue. I don't know why y'all ain't realizing it, but I've been seeing it. That's why we ain't hired no DC. Because we telling every DC you got to take our assistants.
You got to
Come on,
keep
think
our
about it. It's USC. You know we got money. These coaches ain't turning us down. They turning us down because we like you got to keep our assistants. So we trying to do what you saying, Tiny.
Yeah.
We trying to have our cake and eat it too. We trying to bring in a DC with experience.
Hold on, Carter. Uncle Boom.
Yo.
Is it fair to the new DC to add your own, not their defensive coordinator position coaches, but give them, your own defensive coordinators?
No. It's not fair. But I understand why USC is doing it that way.
Right. For the continuity, right?
Continuity, and you're not willing to risk your future impact pieces, for the 2026 season. So I understand why they're doing it, but it's not fair to the incoming DC. If it's especially if it's an outside hire.
I understand it. Like, what's the point of we're not going to break up our continuity and the coaches we have for one lost apple? He may have been the head of the defense, but he wasn't the really one who coordinated with the players, that was there with the players. I feel like he was trying to run everything like an NFL team, and leaving it all off on the assistant coaches, but also. Yeah, like he just he just calling orders like he's the head coach, but also at the same time he playing favoritism of the players that he's going to put in there. Like Carter, I heard you say earlier when we were talking, like when everybody was on, that you were saying how like, oh well, Fitzgerald balled out. I can see that and everything. But do y'all realize Kamari was in that same position last year? And what happened if Kamari was in that position this year?
He would have done the same thing. Probably
Or
had more
probably even
picks.
more.
Well,
Yeah.
Kamari was in the nickel like the first half of the season, so he
Yeah, but I'm saying what
was different.
basically Fitzgerald was running the same position Kamari was running last year. Kamari would have had a third year running that,
Right.
which is why he came back.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine him running him. Kamari didn't get hurt. He was out that one game when he was sick. But imagine him being there. You can move everything else around, put youngsters in there at the slot. And then if Fitzgerald's really that legit, you see how he ate off that position. That position he ate off of.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like a rover type of position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on,
BG,
Carter.
I felt the same way.
Question.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, Carter. And we appreciate everybody joining live. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications. One quick thing, Carter, before you go into, I know you're about to ask me a question, but I want to get this off before I forget. From what I understand, Coach Henny was up for consideration for the Georgia Tech defensive coordinator. I'm not sure if he's still in line for that. Does that give the front office also pause that potentially he could leave to take that DC position?
Who you asking? Everybody or?
Carter.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say that ain't even for sure he was up for that. That was just speculation because
Yeah,
that was the alma mater.
say, look, sometimes rumors be agents putting that out there to get their clients bigger contracts and negotiation leverage. So I think sometimes they throw a name just be off of relation. Like, okay, you got a Georgia Tech alum. It's a co-DC at USC, so he automatically gonna get through in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know how much smoke that is because I didn't hear about Henny going on no interviews.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask y'all.
Yeah, go ahead.
What have y'all seen? What have y'all seen on the field, right? To make y'all believe our defensive coaches is them dudes, like on the field. I feel like only thing they proven to me in 2 years, y'all, is they great recruiters. And that's a valuable place in the program. That's why I don't want to let them go. But I want to convince me about they coaching on the field. I'm not convinced yet. I feel like they great recruiters, they great salesmen. Convince me.
Tiny? Young Tiny?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
You heard my question, Tiny?
No, ask it again, Carter. I'm sorry.
I said, convince me.
Oh, what have I seen on the field? I heard you say that.
Yeah, about the assistant coaches. Make me believe that they the real deal on the field. I feel like they is off the field with recruiting, but convince me that they the guys on the field for us.
Or maybe our evaluation on players ain't been on point. Maybe that goes back to what I've been saying since last season. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the initial evaluation of players. That's why I never been big on 5 stars, 4 stars. I never been big on some of these players like everybody else been big on because they go because they got money and got the backing and they go to national camps and get recognized by this, and that. I want ballers that's gonna get out there and play. We all allude to Utah in these different programs that do it with 2 and 3 stars. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna try to tell me that outside of Coach Whittingham at Utah, for an example, all his assistant coaches was just all that, or is it just a culture thing and those players just want to ball and earn their stripes? I don't want no players coming in feeling like, you know what I'm saying, that they just, because I'm a 4 or 5 star, I'm supposed to play. Or nowadays you got the NIL version in it. I'm pocket watching. So if this freshman coming in and he getting more money and he ain't proved nothing, I'm threatening him. Huh?
I said, Miss going through that right now.
Yeah, they going through that right now. Everybody pocket watching. But just to answer your question, I feel like you. I feel like we all share the same sentiment that we know we could be better. Carter, you always allude to this. We USC. We need to forget anything else, all that propaganda, all them different opinions. Like, we USC because we diehards. We know where we need to be. We know the type of players we used to having and where we need to get back to. You know what I'm saying? Can I necessarily I don't think Rob Ryan and them not coaching these linebackers not to fly downhill. I don't think that. You feel me? I don't think that Reed and Belk and them is teaching these dudes to miss tackles. I don't think that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't I don't think that,
China,
bro.
on China, it becomes an accountability issue then, right?
Yeah, I honestly feel like that, bro. Like I honestly feel like
isn't accountability a part of the culture though? Because if these players aren't making the tackles and they are in a position,
I feel like players need to be accountable. Y'all getting paid now. Y'all doing all y'all. Come on, bro. I feel like respectfully, yeah, coaching got to be better. But like as a coach myself now, I see. I put my players. If I put you in the right position, bro, and you missing tackles, that's not on me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's even like, and I feel like Lincoln Riley get a bad share too, because I be on him too. I'm guilty of this too. We talk about his play call, it is this, but when it's clicking and when the plays is working, oh, he's a genius. But soon as something don't go the way everybody wanted to go, his play calling the suspect. He this and that. He this that. I just feel like, bro, everything we all know, like when things clicking, it's all good. When it ain't happening.
The way
and that's just being real.
The way I see it, Young Tiny, if you're in position to make a tackle, the scheme is right. You just didn't do your job. Uncle Boom, because same question to you. Have you seen enough on the field to let you know that, hey, look, the current coaching staff is the staff to lead these guys from a defensive perspective?
Yes and no. But I could also, yes and no. But I could also say the same thing about Lincoln Riley being a head coach.
Okay.
Everybody knows Lincoln Riley to be a great play caller, but those teams that he went to the college football playoff with when he was at Oklahoma, those 3 years that he went, those were Bob Stoops recruited teams. Those weren't Lincoln Riley recruited teams at all. Those are all Bob Stoops recruited players that were older, more mature, and they already had a mindset instilled with them. Now we bring over Lincoln Riley over to USC, and his head coaching job has been average at best, unfortunately, but his play calling is still good, right? But he hasn't really been a top tier head coach. So with that being said, just because we see our position coaches not performing up to the expectations of the fans doesn't mean that they can't be a better DC or play caller. So we can't say that initially until it actually happens.
Good point, Uncle Boom.
J.A., same question, my man.
I look at it like, okay, we're talking strictly about the defense, right? I think with the coordinator, not the coordinators, but the assistant coaches, I really believe, just hearing from the inside, that the coaches are coaching kind of with their hands tied behind their back. In regards to like, okay, and what I mean by that, it's like, okay, I got a freshman, or I got a redshirt freshman, or a sophomore that can play. You know what I mean? But then like it goes into like you're like somebody was stating earlier. Oh, but this kid's getting a higher NIL deal, or this kid's a senior. And like it's like more of a favoritism played as opposed to just playing this kid right here. And then you come to the head coach who obviously you got to discuss everything with. And he's like, no, I'm going to play this kid. Like, no, we're going to put him there. You know, and we've seen it a little bit with playing a freshman. Like that one kid, he played really good. 41. He played in the slot when Hassan Longstreet brother was just in that. I forgot. I think it was the Minnesota game. He was just like, it was all bad. So they put him in number 41 and he balled out. Reddick. There you go, Reddick. But it's like, how many more times did we see Reddick throughout the whole year?
Do you think the staff be bumping heads, fam?
I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they keep it professional because they have to.
The staff was bumping heads with Lynn for sure.
I think they were all bumping heads with Lynn. Like, no, put this kid in.
Real quick, hold on. Hey, USCJ, you dropped off, my man.
I don't know.
Hey, I was telling y'all that. Y'all wasn't trying to hear me, though. Y'all said Connor Morris said nah.
Yeah, I don't even do him, Carter. You lying like Carter Burke.
Yeah, I don't believe everything Megamind puts out there. So,
do we think? Let me ask y'all this deep question because this had crossed my mind too. Do we think that personnel outside of the coaching staff has too much power that has to do with players. So, like, just say a GM or Chad Savage or something. Do you think that they're overstepping their boundaries outside of the, stepping in the coaching decisions?
No.
No.
I don't think so, but I think that what happens is, I think, and we've seen it a little bit this year, if you didn't like play up to that point or get a lot of run on the field, then I think Chad Bowlen is the type to come in and renegotiate your contract.
Right. He like, hey, you ain't playing, we paying you, you ain't playing us apart. Like, what it do?
That's another. There could be
like
another,
you had a
could be
milli, now we got to jump it down to 7.
Here's the thing, though. There could be another issue. You got to think about, the type of NIL money that they're paying to certain kids.
It is another issue.
That investment, the investment that some of these companies are making, they want to see the product on the field, right? Could that also be, a part of the fact of who's out there on the field from a defensive perspective, not just considering who the DC want in there. Hold on, before anybody respond, we got USC Jay on the channel. What's going on, Jay?
Big bro.
What you know, man? Appreciate you joining live.
Man, hey, what's the word? How y'all doing?
Doing great.
What up, you doing, Jay?
Man, you better be careful driving them big rigs, bro.
Hey, so I got a question, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question for Carter. Carter. Come on, homie. Don't run. Hey, don't run, homie. We about to deal with it. Let's do it.
Get him. Get him.
Hey, Carter, are you the same one that said that Deanton Lynn wasn't playing the best players in the right personnel at the right time? Is that correct? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, don't forget to add the million other people that agree with me too, though.
Okay.
Don't act like I'm the only one on that island, Jay.
No, I'm not. But you were the one that's placing emphasis on that in our chat. But look.
Okay, I'll be the spokesperson for that. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the point. The point is this: we saw a difference. Would you agree? We saw a difference in the TCU game, especially with the personnel, John Jarrett, Floyd Boucard, nose tackle, D tackle. You saw a different energy and a different lineup opposed to having Devin Tompkins in the middle. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I could agree with that, especially in the first half. I definitely could agree with that.
Okay, so that means that we can't say, when we say things like, how do we know that this staff is proven and what have they shown us thus far? Well, we know who the head honcho was. He was commander in chief, so we can't. That's an unfair judgment to put on this staff right now, given the fact that they really didn't have. Kamari Ramsey had no business playing nickelback. I
agree with you. I agree with you, and I say that all the time about Kamari.
Yeah, so I think when we approach it, we just got to approach it the correct way and say, look, man, these guys really didn't have an opportunity to really do their whole due diligence. 15, 14 hours before a game, this man is about to become. Because I remember breaking the news the same day as he left, Lynn left, and he becoming the DC. I mean, that's not even a fair. And a lot of people are judging him on that particular performance, but that's number one. We didn't have all of our guys, but number two, he just found out. But it's just like, man, we just have to put the proper commentary.
And Jay, let me kind of piggyback on what you're saying.
Okay.
I actually give the staff more credit because it was like a day or two. So it's like basically.
He coming at me. Hold on. Like,
Jay.
Okay. Go ahead.
He was coming at. Look, Jay, we really saying the same thing. Only thing you saying is that the staff ain't had a chance to prove themselves yet because Lynn was the head honcho. And I agree, but all I'm saying is, how do we know? Because of that, they haven't had the chance to prove. So how are we sure, Jay? And I said, convince me. I ain't saying they not. I'm saying, tell me something that will make me be like, all right, you right.
I don't have to. Look. Hey, Carter. These dudes. Here's one part of it. Here's one part of it that we got to realize. You look at some of these players. You think Gary Patterson can get all these dudes on campus?
I don't want Gary Patterson, Jay.
No. I'm just. You think all these dudes on campus? You think Bethune to get all these dudes on campus? To me, it's a shady situation. If USC waits to the 16th, knowing that this transfer portal is about to close, and they hire somebody else. I mean, to me, if they do it that way, to me, it's super shady, and they really didn't give an opportunity to the current guys on staff. And I just feel like, look, man, these guys got some, phenomenal talent. We haven't seen this type of class in 20 years. We haven't been in the championship in 20 years. We haven't been this status of this caliber of players in 20 years. And for us to finally get it, and the guys who got these guys here, for them to have to really just sit back and take a seat and say, look, I really can't coach these dudes, man, that's crazy. You feel me?
Jay, look. I'm on the fence though, Jay. Like, I ain't 100% like, oh no, we can't give the staff a chance. I'm just saying, like, the staff, they haven't proved it yet. And if we do count on them, like we rolling the dice, we better be right on it. When I feel like if we do get a proven DC, it's a sure thing. We got a great defensive coach and a great defensive mind. So I'm on the fence, Jay. Like, you might convince me and have me like, yeah, Team Henny. I go back and forth.
Okay, here's another part. I talked to somebody today, and I can't say who, but they in the building. I put it like that. A lot of them assistants not going to be happy if Gary Patterson is the hire, which is a lot of people hearing. So it's going to be darn if you do, darn if you don't. So I'd rather rock with the guys I got and have them happy, and we go with it that way, because at the end of the day, your situation ain't going to be right anyway if you hire them. And mark my
Same
words,
thing
I'm
I
telling you,
said.
I guarantee you it's going to be like that. First of all, and then I went back. I talked about a situation that Gary Patterson, how he had a racial slur that he did. I went back and did some homework on him. I did a video today. I did homework on him, and that little racial slur situation. That's not a good look, bro. I mean, it's crazy. So I don't know if USC really did their homework on him. And I talked to another person that said, when I was coaching at so and so, I dealt with him like that. Look, they're not feeling them, bro. That's what I'm telling you. They're not gonna be feeling them. Is that clear for you?
Jay, so why is he in the mix then? No, I'm asking you, like, why is Lincoln Riley them even considering him if he racist? Now,
Not Lincoln
now my
Riley,
mind on
bro.
something else.
Hey, don't take my don't. I'm not saying he's
I
racist,
don't
but go
think
look
here's
at
the
the
thing.
article
I don't think
yourself.
Lincoln Riley is making the call. I think it's
I'm
more
not
so
saying I'm not saying he's racist. I say he had a racial slur. It was all over the internet. I looked it up today, and I read about it. And all I'm saying is that type of he doesn't fit, and he does not fit at USC. That's what I'm telling you.
I agree with that. What you think about Batum?
I like Batum. I can see that happening. I mean, I like him.
Yeah, but Jay, let me ask you a question, Jay. Even if you went with Batum, you still be bringing him in over over Henny and Belt. What
I
would
didn't
be
say
the
I would bring him in, but I'm saying based on what I read today about Gary Patterson in that situation,
Yeah,
and knowing that
I'm saying take Gary Patterson off the table, and we just go strictly with Batum, just for sake of conversation. You still would be bringing Batum in over over Belk and Henny. What would be the
no,
difference?
I'm just saying I like Batum. I didn't say we hire him. I said I like him, but
Okay.
I'm saying I feel like you guys know my position. I've been preaching
Yeah.
it for the
Yeah.
past
Yeah.
couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Hire within. I haven't changed that. I just feel like that's the best. It's a safe option. It's the best option. And no, it's not the players running the thing, but I just feel like you. And I think it was somebody. I think it was Okaboom or somebody I was listening while I was driving. Man, y'all forgive me for the sound. He was talking about Booby Fisher's dad, talking about when he was on my show, talking about that
Yeah.
he would if Lincoln Riley leaves, he said Lincoln Riley and he said Coach Simmons. He didn't just say Lincoln Riley. He said Lincoln Riley and Coach Simmons, meaning that they like those coaches, they like the position coaches, and they like the head coach. But I think it'll be the flip side. There will be no coach. There will be no Joaquin Stewart, no Floyd Buchard, Winfield. When is the last time USC never got them play? When's the last time USC got them kind of play? Tell me, like, seriously.
Nah, Jay, look, Jay. This is my dream scenario. This is what my dream scenario. We hire a proven DC that's lit, and he willing to keep Henny. To me, that's the dream scenario. A DC that's good and that's gonna say, I like the assistants too. Come on, Henny. Come on, Belt. Let's rock. That's my dream scenario.
I feel you. I respect your opinion, but I think at this point, and you said you didn't hear if Henny did interview. I'm telling you that
Oh, he
too.
did. He
He
did.
interviewed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So look, he had the whole situation. Look, I just feel like we just probably need to hire with them. I feel like that's the best option, man, without saying a whole lot. And hopefully, we can really just try to keep the momentum that we got, man. There's a certain unity right now with the staff, the current guys. Yes, Deion Chalin, from what I was told, was the odd man out. His personality, I think, will be the same type of personality, but I think it would be a little bit worse because he's old. Gary Patterson is super old, and you bring that type of personality and try to mix it in Southern California, and with the just the way he is, I just don't think it's gonna mix. I think they're not. I don't know, man. I'm surprised, and I think he's a good. I think he's a good coach, but he's past his time. It's kind of like this. Pete Carroll's a great coach. But look what happened to him at the Raiders. And I'm not saying Pete Carroll couldn't come back, but I just think he's did it for years and years and years. It's time for something. It's time to move on.
Facts.
So what you saying is, Jay, if Pete Carroll was willing to come back and be the DC, you would tell him no.
Bro, I don't even think they would entertain that. It's a conflict.
Hypothetically speaking,
No, that's not gonna happen.
I don't want to but I don't think. I think it's a conflict. What? Okay. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna flip it on you. Based on Pete Carroll's last few years, would you hire him back? Coaching?
Not to be the head coach, but if he want to come in
As
and
an
give
analyst,
us
but that's
as
it.
the analyst, hold
I'm
on, Jay.
asking you for the defense. I'm flipping it back on you. Would you, based on his last few years, and I'm not saying Pete Carroll's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. We love him.
But don't think about 2005. Think about nowadays. Now.
But we talking about the NFL level versus the college level. We talking about
right,
the
and you
NFL
haven't
level
been
versus
to
college
college.
level. He might look do a 180. He might look 100% different than he would at the NFL level. You got to remember when Pete Carroll came on, they got him from the New England from the Jets, and he was horrible there. But when he came on, when he came on to SC, what did he do? He changed the entire trajectory of the program.
I'm agreeing with you.
Right,
You can have him as an analyst, but not as no coach.
Okay.
But here's the word.
Not as a coach.
Hey, I'm agreeing with you, DJ, but here's the words you use. You said might. That goes back to what Carter's saying, that he might be good. So it's like, if we got something that might be, we might as well keep what we got. You feel what I'm saying?
I can say
I'm just saying.
I feel you, Jay. Everybody been happy with what we did the last 2 years with the staff, the recruiting classes. Now our DC go to Happy Valley. Now everybody ready to fall apart. Like, let's ride out with what we got.
I gotta go, man. Hey, Carter, you the homie. You know I'll be messing with you, man. But
oh yeah, you already know, bro.
Hey, Jay, man, I
you already know, Jay.
Appreciate you taking out your time to join the live, my man. As always, man. Thank you.
I'm a holler, man.
All right, my man. All right, Jay. So with that said, fellas, it's been we've been on for 2.5 now, but I appreciate everybody that joined the live, my man. USC Jay for stopping by. As always, I always want to give him his flowers. Carter, my man, I appreciate you. Thank you. Young Tiny, J.A., Uncle Boom, don't be no stranger, man. We're going to continue to go live, especially when they finally announced a DC. We got Mike Eckler as a special teams coach, as potentially a linebacker coach. We don't know what's going to happen with Ryan. So on behalf of 4th and 9 to Victor, we appreciate it. It's been a good season, man. I've enjoyed it. Before we get out of here, J.A., you got any social media you want to shout out?
You guys are just following me on Instagram, John Carl Alexander with the number 3 on IG. Also, I have a furniture business and we do kitchen remodels.
Hey, but Uncle Boom,
Where you at?
Yeah. Where you at?
In SoCal.
SoCal.
Oh. I do anything. I can get anything done from you. I can get anything done. I live in LA, but I can get anything done from you from anywhere from Bakersfield all the way down to San Diego.
Okay. Uncle Boom.
Anybody who needs tickets,
Put your number in the private chat,
Anybody
bro,
who
right
needs
now.
tickets to the game. All
Did you
right.
hear? Did you
Anybody
hear
who
Young
needs
Tiny?
tickets to the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. You wanna
Put it in the private chat,
oh,
bro.
let me see. Hold
Look,
on.
I'm gonna put mine in there. Just hit me.
Oh, okay, no, I got it.
Uncle Boom, man, you got a social media you want
All
to
right,
shout
for
out,
sure.
bro?
Yeah, on Twitter, Uncle Boom 44.
Okay, I know Young Tiny. He typically don't have
Nah, I ain't no social media, but what I do want to say is good talk, fellas. Let's all understand that we all, at the end of the day, is this even for the people in the comment section, man? We all want the same thing. Understand, everybody gonna have different opinions, to have different outlooks, but at the end of the day, we all want to reach the same goal. If you a true USC Trojan, feel me? So
Right.
let's try to keep it a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it copacetic,
Right.
bro, and just respect everybody's opinions, but cut that nonsense out though, man. But at the end of the day, bro, we will fight on regardless.
Young Tiny, you got a youth league team, right?
Yeah, I've been coaching, bro. Like, you gotta understand, I'm tapped in with this youth.
Shout your youth league thing out real quick, Tiny.
I'm down here. I'm down here in the IE coaching right now. We about to start 7-on-7. So a lot of my players,
Yeah,
like
I
I
used
done
to live
have
out
put
there, bro. I bought my first house in
Hey,
Corona.
hey,
all the
is it
time.
too
Yeah.
late? Is it too late to take another kid on your team?
How old?
He like what? He
Carter,
9 or
just hit
10?
me, bro.
Yeah,
Text
I
me,
got your
bro.
number. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
hit you.
just hit
I
me.
got your
You
number.
right here. You 10, 15 minutes from me. We'll link
Yep.
in.
All right.
Yes. Okay. But
All
yeah,
right,
man.
go ahead.
I
Tiny, you get the
appreciate you,
number? I'll drop it in
ABG.
the link.
Appreciate you,
Hit me, I
man.
got you.
Okay, I got you. All right, Jay. I see it. Hold on.
All right, and Carter, my man, go ahead and shout out your channel, man.
Man, Carter Sports and TV. And go to Trojan Gang or Don't Bang if you don't want the TV side, the entertainment side. If you just want straight Trojan videos, go to Trojan Gang or Don't Bang.
If you need politics on LA life, street life, Carter's the man.
Hey, if you like the mess, if you like the drama and all that, no jumper type of stuff, type of topics, stay on Carter Sports or TV. I dip into that every now and then.
Yeah.
Just had a video on 4 Extra, so check me
Outside
out.
of that, my man, on behalf of myself, man, and Kristen, we appreciate you here at 4th and 9, and we'll see you guys the next time. Until then, man, fight on.
Fight on, fellas.
If I don't. Hey, hit me.